a bloodstained flag. Open road and nomadic plans. I'm coming to get ya. I'm coming to get ya. I'ma bring it in the firefight. I'm coming to get ya. I'm coming to get ya. I'm the reaper in the dead of night. Lightning strikes in a quiet town. Bodies fall upon sacred ground. Burn a flag and a king is crowned. Coming to get ya. I'm coming, I'm coming. I'm coming to get ya. I just subdivide. I'll show you how it's done. There's no sight, we go inside. The man is the one. You build your walls with faith in God. They never come around. Then wonder why we all defy the burden to be born. We're coming home with a mission to bring an end to a terrible land. We are here to your mission. We are many of one. We're coming home with a mission to tear you down from your undeserved room. We can take your conviction. We are many of one. You may call it a virus, but we call it the antidote. It's an answer to silence. The future is here to revolt. So high from here, you can see the world. And we all insisted to be smooth. Embrace your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together and staying off track forever. Child of the nation, go seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Rebirth's a tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, go back, you're back now. Keep your feet on the road and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, 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 out. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give what you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give what you got, show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They waiting for you. Take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine.
So when it comes to players versus FAZE, I feel like the fact that we are playing in studio and we're not on the main stage, that gives players, it gives them a way better fighting chance, because we've assessed that when it comes to stage and with Kerrigan and the crew from FaZe Clan, they can just take the advantage, they can just steamroll them. That has happened.
They beat them twice last year in the most
Cologne.
a big matches, right? In Cologne and what was it, IEM right now, like
They beat them out.
with the stand-ins, so they have their number, right? That is a psychological fact right there between those two teams, but you know.
But players did
Form-wise,
IEM Winter, right? So it's like, I feel like if it's a matter of the importance of the moment and how much importance there is and how much pressure there is, because then FaZe would actually thrive in that, and sometimes former Gambit or now players would crumble a little bit. I feel like we are maybe in a better, more comfortable environment for players to perform.
And you can't keep, like, I feel like they have crumbled in the past, I'll give it to them, I'll give you that, but at the same time, they will be growing, right, as a team, as a unit, mentally speaking. Yeah. They should be, at least on paper, and at least based on form, they look fantastic in the group, man. Players look incredible, and FAZE, we all know how they just managed to scrape their way through.
Well, I wouldn't say they looked incredible. I would say they looked fine. They looked incredible in the Liquid series because they played with less pressure and they were playing more loose. I think that's the way they need to play against FAZE in order to have a chance, because FAZE just stylistically matches up against them really well, right? Like, players are a team that goes step by step, map control, finish rounds, right? FAZE knows how to disrupt that, how to play against that style. That's why they've been beating them 2-0, you know, in recent times. So for me, I have to go with FAZE just because of that stylistic kind of thing, but it would be a massive win for players. It would be one of those statement wins online that they've been looking for a while now.
I feel I'm actually going to side with players. I agree with Yanko here. Like, you know, FAZE might have the edge, but I feel like players, just playing the odds here, at one point they have to overcome their demons.
Mathematically, they should win.
They should win. I'm going to go with math here. I think players might come out and...
Players, I would say players just because of the individual and team form in the past month.
3-1 players then? Is that where we stand?
You're going players?
I'm going to go players because
you guys
of context.
are insane. You guys are...
No, you're actually insane.
I'm out.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to ESL Pro League Season 15. We're in the playoffs now, and it's time for our second playoff match. Our next two teams are both on 3-match winning streaks, and for one of them, this is about to end. It's FaZe Clan versus Players. Super excited to be here. My name is Parla. I'm one of your desk hosts, and I'm joined by Blair, and we've got Maniac in the building. Let's get some hype in the chat for Maniac.
I like that. Welcome. I'm going to get used to that. I'm going to get used to that kind of
Welcome, Matthew Kikieras. How was your travel here, and did you enjoy your media day, etc.? We just saw you on screen.
Yeah, we were just there in the media day, right? I flew straight into the media day. But it's actually impressive to see you guys live. Watching you on my TV for like 4 weeks. Are you here?
Are you a little worried of joining the night shift?
I don't know. I think I have the mental fortitude to survive it. We'll see. Ask me the question like 3 or 4 days.
All right. I've known Matthew for quite some years now, and I know that he's prepared and he's going to be able to handle anything, Blair. Blair, how are you doing, by the way?
I'm doing fantastic, man. It's been a long 4 weeks. It's some fantastic Counter-Strike. The group stages are done and dusted. Here we go. Yes. Playoffs time. Everything on the line. You lose, you're out. This is what we live for.
It's crazy to think that one of these teams, FaZe Clan or Players, isn't going to make it to the quarterfinals.
This is a potential grand finals matchup, and we're having it around at 12. I mean...
Yeah, it's an extremely high-quality game for sure, but that's the fact. When you have a group stage round robin, you lose a couple of matches here and there. I mean, FaZe, they started with an 0-2. In the round robin, they had to fight back just to be in the playoffs, so you're not going to get the easy life and be in the quarterfinal. Hell no.
Now, guys, before we break down this matchup further, it wouldn't be a proper CS broadcast without some legendary casters. Of course, we had to provide you with the best of the best. Look at them on screen. They're like semi-matching. It's Sadakist and Moses. Boys, how you doing?
Doing really well. It's good to be here in the playoffs. I think this is going to be a ton of fun. I was interested with that content piece saying, you know, they were all leaning toward Players. I'm going FaZe on this one. I really think that they showcased at Katowice. They can go the hard way through a bracket. They can take down anyone. I know it's not the same sort of honeymoon that they had going on there with the stand-in, but I'm leaning their way.
Here's the thing. I don't want to hear anyone remember the story on FaZe and all the interviews with Kerrigan over at Katowice was like, we have no pressure. They had the stand-in situation with JKS in and out, no pressure. Whatever we get with this stand-in is just kind of gravy. They no longer get to hold on to that. That no longer gets to be a thing for them. They don't get to play with no pressure. Now they're trying to build upon a championship that they just won at one of the biggest events of the year. They've proven they can do it, and now you got to build that resume a little bit and establish that you can maintain that form over a long period of time. And Players still obviously looking to see if they can match some of the greatness we saw last year.
Yeah, well, exactly that. And maybe now the pressure's starting to go.
Pressure's on both these teams.
Well, but I think it might de-escalate in some ways for Players because I think the pressure was on them coming back into the LAN era. And maybe now those expectations have subsided. Maybe now they'll settle in. Maybe that's where the mathematic, whatever crazy thing Blay was trying to come up with will come true, guys. But we'll find out because I think it's going to be a great game. I do think this could be a final matchup, and it is in the round of 12, Paula.
I just love seeing these two guys. I will say, though, I am disappointed, Matt, and you can absolutely rebuttal me when it comes to the cast, but you're not wearing your beanie. What's up with that? Matt's beanie.
I think he's trying to dress up a little bit considering it's the playoffs, right? I do want to see the beanie back again.
Matthew, you're a fan of Matt's beanie. Did you see it? He was wearing it last week on one of the days.
Dude, I'm just realizing I prepared the wrong thing. We're talking about outfits here. That's what we're doing. We're trying to analyze how people are dressing up. I thought we were going to talk about Counter-Strike. I got it all wrong. Can we start over?
We'll get back to it.
Matthew, you're looking fresh as always. And I'll tell you what, we can analyze this matchup very soon, just after we get to know these two teams a little bit better.
We're strong because we have the individual players that we need.
I think that we have a lot of fun before the game and during the game. That's one of the reasons we are strong as a team.
They only have a Hobbit that is like the main experienced guys. But I think overall they can be a very tough team to play against, especially if they get in their zone and if they stay calm during situations. I think they can perform very good.
We have good communication, but sometimes we can even don't use it at all. For example, Shiro can call something and he will say like only one word and everyone understands what he want to call. I guess FaZe right now have a lot of firepower. They have a lot of strong players. Also, they have like good in-game leader. So it's like combination of skill and structure, I will say.
As well, Ops is in a huge amount of trouble. He's going to try and take fight. The second shot fast enough, but Jax, he drops in. Oh, talk about a custodian.
We are number 3 team in the world. FaZe is second team. Now is first team in the world. So it's gonna be tough. I mean, the best team in the world gonna play in the same bracket. So it's gonna be interesting one, do or die. Let's see.
Blair, Maniac, Rain, they're saying, you know, us as FaZe Clan, we're best when we're individually performing. And Nafany on players' side saying that this team have a lot of firepower. Do you agree with those statements?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're looking at just the sheer individual firepower on both these teams, you have to give the edge to FaZe, right? Brokey continues to deliver, continues to be the a little bit of doubt there, a little bit of doubt
I'll put in a bit of doubt. I'm not going to fully doubt you, but if you can guarantee me that the Katowice FaZe is going to show up and Brokey is going to have an MVP-like performance and Twist is going to be amazing, yeah, but that's not always the case.
That's the thing that's not always the case. I agree with you, but that's the thing with FaZe, that when the going gets tough, when it gets to the playoffs, when they really have to deliver, they do deliver. But we have to address the fact that this time around the pressure is on. In Katowice, there was no pressure. Everyone's like, listen, if you guys don't make it to the playoffs, it's fine. If you get knocked in the quarterfinals, it's fine. This time around, as the IEM Katowice champions just a month prior, they would be feeling a little bit of the pressure despite the veterancy in that lineup.
Guys, let's take a look at both of these teams' recent matchups. We'll bring them up on screen. Matthew, you look like you want to retort to what Blair is saying here. You got to
he's right. He's absolutely right. Look, this is a matchup that is very emotionally loaded. You have to realize, people have to realize, FaZe have ruined the dreams of Gambit on multiple occasions. We're talking about IEM Cologne, of course, the return to LAN that everyone was anticipating. Gambit was supposed, at the time, to be on top of the world, and they lost that game. And then you have, obviously, Katowice, that was players' first Spodek event. They come here with a FaZe Clan that doesn't even have a full roster, and they lose again. So Kerrigan, he's got Nafany's number completely figured out when we're in high-pressure, high-octane situation. My counterpoint to this is that this isn't the context we are in right now. We're way more in an IEM wintry vibe.
Yep.
We're playing in the studio. It's FaZe that's got the pressure. Moses talked about it in the cast. He said they cannot hide behind the fact that, you know, we don't have any pressure. That is not the case. So I feel like the emotional charge of that game is just slightly inverted here.
Blair, do you think that there's some merit to Maniac's point that this is less of an IEM Katowice stage and it's more a studio, more an IEM winter style?
Absolutely, 100%. Like, you look at Katowice, the crowd factor comes into play. It was in the quarterfinals, they got knocked out. You go back to Cologne as well, quarterfinals as well, where they lost to the side of FaZe when it comes to this particular event. And let's look at things with a little bit more recency. Like, let's look at the group performances, right? FaZe, they struggle. It actually came down to some of the result on the final day to guarantee FaZe a spot in the playoffs. For the side of players, though, sure, they lost to Movistar Riders, who had an incredible run in the group stage, but apart from that, they were starting to look better and better. And the final game they had against Liquid, listen, Liquid are a solid team. They made them look like amateurs in a server. If that's the players you're going to be seeing here today, there's no crowd, they're used to this pressure, I feel like they might have the edge.
Blair, Matthew, let's focus in on Brokey from FaZe. This guy has been going off recently. Do you think he's going to do that today?
At this point, I have to say yes. He has never, ever failed to deliver yet. You can look at his stats here. The MVP of IM Katowice in Pro League, it has fallen off a little bit. Agreed, because they had a couple of losses, a couple of close games, but he is still their best player.
Matthew, Blair came up with a name for Brokey during the group stage, the Iceman. Do you think it's a good name? Do you think it's suitable?
Okay, I can see that. I can see
run clutches.
Exactly. I was going to talk about the clutches and the fact that he doesn't seem phased at any time, no pun intended. So yeah, I'll creative vein. Like,
listen, you're a poet, maniac. Just shut up. Shush.
And Matthew, do you think Brokey is going to be a big factor in this matchup against players?
Yes, he absolutely will. Paula, we were talking about these past results, and I dig in the stat just a little bit. In fact, when players beat FaZe at IM Winter, Brokey had quite a poor performance. He had 0.99 rating. If we're talking about Katowice, he was an MVP. When Robs joined FaZe Clan, I stated that this was the beginning of the true test for Brokey. How is he going to play now? Is he going to show up? Can he turn into a star? What he did in Katowice was marvelous. It was phenomenal. But now he has to prove it time and time again, event after event. And that is the first opportunity for him.
Blair, Matthew, brilliant thoughts as always. Look, the matchup is fast approaching. We're going into the vetoes. Blair, run us through them.
Well, Vertigo Nuke, the usual bans coming out. I'm expecting both the teams to go with comfort picks. FaZe will always go for the Inferno, provided the opportunity. They are very, very comfortable on this particular map. If I'm overpass.
I know. And that's the problem, because overpass would make sense.
That would make sense.
Overpass would make sense, but it's been slightly weakened on their side very recently. I don't think they... So they have
Actually, it felt like you knew the Mirage was coming out. You were lulling Blair into a false sense of security.
What I knew is that players would not be in a position to go for an overpass, which would have made sense. So they have to take...
Well, we're going to be finding overpass at the end of the day, if we go the full distance. The Dust 2 ban coming out from players makes sense, because FaZe have been looking incredible on that map. Many teams going for the punish pick on that map initially in the group stage, and they got pummeled. The Mirage pick, though, I started to sweat a little bit here for players.
Matthew and Blair, we have about a minute left. Can I get some final and finite predictions?
I'm going to stand with what I said yesterday in the media day. We were talking about it. I feel players at this current stage, right now in the studio, they will have that slight little edge.
I would love to be contrarian, but I won't be. I'm going to stick with my guns here. I think players, that's the time, that's the place to actually pull an upset. It is an upset right now. We haven't even mentioned Shiro. He's the second best T-sided player of the event.
Nuts.
He's having the banger of a moment. That's the case again right now.
The only player who's able to outshine Shiro right now in the tournament is Simple, because, well, he's Simple.
Well, we just bringing in Simple right now in every game.
We got to take out Simple from these things for things to make sense. But yeah, Shiro has been fantastic, individually looking good. And if there was ever a time for these 5 players to break the curse of taking down FaZe, now is the time.
All right, everybody at home, I hope you are as hyped as my analysts are for this matchup. It's ESL Pro League Season 15 playoff game number 2, FaZe Clan versus players.
Finally, Jason, we're not the only 2 players up in this, because we've got 5 of them in this server going up against FaZe Clan. And yes, they are both returning to Pro League this week, having not qualified in the previous week. They've had some time off. They've had some reset. They showed up in the last 2 days. Some teams were a little earlier than others and got some practice under their belts before getting into this series.
Oh, yeah, just a little bit, and then they're going to get right into the playoff games. No warm-up here. You have to win this one. They weren't able to skip that stage right into the quarterfinals, so here we go. FaZe taking on players. Inferno, Mirage, and Overpass as a decider. Twist going to lead the way up Banana early, hiding in the corner at the moment. Hobbit, Nafany, and Inters with a 3-man stack at the top of Banana. Want to control that on the pistol round. Slow and measured and quiet from both teams as Twist starts kind of creeping out, seeing what he can find. A little bit of utility, 2 smokes, flash and Molotov for Brokey and Kerrigan.
Inter's waiting at the top of the Banana position, has Hobbit and Nafany along with him, so this does mean Shiro and Exile are completely alone over on A. And because they're playing pit side, not a quick rotation. We know pistols can commonly go through the CT wrap based on how close the engagements are. Sometimes it's a split-second decision, just on how things go down at Arch. So this could catch them, depending on how the mid approach goes for FaZe.
Yeah, this defense with these USPs, if they miss a couple of shots, if these Glocks are able to close the gap without taking too many losses, this defense they could crumble very quickly. Axel and Shiro going to fall back into the bomb site. The B player is going to start to push up. That flank is going to be coming in. It's going to be at a nice timing, but they need to hold off a little bit longer.
Yeah, this is a big flank because, again, they went all toward the Arch side. They didn't cover off for, all toward the pit side. They didn't cover off for Arch. They couldn't run back the other way, but the kill's still going the way of FaZe. It's Brokey, Kerrigan, and Twists. And Brokey, for those wondering, is not the Iceman. He's the Latvian laser. We all know that. Rop's going to try and laser toward the apartments right now, but Hobbit has that instead on the silenced USP, and Hobbit hardly scathed from that with 62. Will get flashed inside of the pit to try and clear further positions. It's both inside of the site for FaZe. Twists, the high HP player at this point in time, 100. And a kill already to work with. Needs to work off Brokey's positioning. Needs to try and get this into a situation where he can bait out the shots. He's done that. Reloads required. The USP with only the 12 bullets. Brokey's going to catch off Hobbit. Twist comes back out and Hinters gets nailed.
They had all the chances in the world to take down Brokey. I mean, smart of him playing at that box headshot angle for the player up in halls, but once you drop down, they've had a few chances to take him out. All it needed was one bullet. They couldn't connect a single one. So good job on Brokey, really jiggling and being a difficult target to land in that bomb site. And yeah, 2 players inside the site, so hard to hold off on that long enough for the flank to come in. Good kill from Kerrigan, watching from Boiler, able to slow it down just a little bit, and it's 1-0 for FaZe. They get started on a positive note. Shotgun in the hands of Shiro. It's a pump shotty. 3 MAC-10s for the FaZe attacking side. And again, slow and measured to open things up. Still at the base of Banana. No aggressive take quite yet. I like the point Maniac brought up. FaZe has played spoiler, has played the foil to players a number of times in a number of big events over the past year or so.
Well, remember at Katowice, the reason I said do it the hard way, obviously there was no easy way when you're in a playoffs that has only 6 teams on the stage, but they played players and then went against Heroic immediately after.
Well, they got to get a tough route here as well. There's this match, the winner of this plays up against Navi in the quarterfinals, so that's not going to be any kind of fun to try and progress through it. Good opening kill from Hobbit. That's an SMG getting the frag onto Twist. He's got 22 health, Nafany down to 44, but they'll take the man advantage. Shiron Exile again alone at the 8 bomb site, but Inters is on a rotation. However, with that 5-7, the distance is going to be a problem. Smokes as well to make any kind of hit disjointed or put out any kind of Molotov that's going to land in his face.
Shotgun Shiro. That's known now. Can't hit the first shot. Does follow up to catch Kerrigan, but not enough damage done as he heard the first shot and opened the gap so that he could get the shot in return, and that worked out brilliantly. No deagle from the pits.
Yeah, good utility. Good smokes from FaZe. I mean, that smoke towards the half wall really obscured the vision. Smoke towards the front of the site made that shotgun, put it in an awkward battle, having to go at medium to long range with that weapon. Obviously not ideal, as we all know from various zombie games over the years. Nice entrance from these MAC-10s as well. Kerrigan wheeling around the site, finding Inters inside of it as well. Nafany's going to save a Galil. That's the only kill they got on Twist earlier on in the round. It's 2-0 for FaZe.
So hold on to that Galil as best as possible. Twists was the target and victim. As the bomb will expire in a rather dramatic explosion. Jason, it's always dramatic.
Always dramatic.
Went down to check out the players area. I know that sounds like a weird thing. We're at the tournament. Why wouldn't we? But we're in separate spots at the hotel.
You went up to check out the players area, didn't you?
No, the players lounge is upstairs. The tournament area, sorry, is
okay.
upstairs.
Nice.
Yeah, it's actually quite cozy down there. The nice little lounge near them, but also very focused. It's not a large area cordoned off for the 2 teams just playing. It's only the 2 teams down there, so it's quite focused environment.
We obviously also the little walk through that Chad and Alex did earlier on in the event of what this area is like at the hotel, what the tournament structure is like here. It's obviously very cool, but you know, oddly enough, I don't know how any of the players have handled it over the week. For me, I think I've left this floor of the hotel once.
Yeah, my hotel room is about 50 meters from here. Our computer room is like 10.
Yep.
The green room is about another 20. So yeah, this hallway is where I live.
No need to go outside. It's perfect.
Yeah, I don't touch grass. Twists. Grass can be sharp. You can get like a paper cut from grass.
Don't call them blades for nothing.
I ain't going out there. No way. That's scary. Nafny and Exile, the only two left alive this time. FaZe with a pretty clean clear against what was essentially a full eco, aside from Nafny obviously holding that gun to carry it over. They'll bring the bomb in. Rain, he's back with us. Poor old Rain as well as they plant the bomb. JKS starts the tournament standing in, obviously, Katowice I'm speaking about, starts the tournament standing in for Rops. Rops arrives, and then Rain can't play, and then they win, and everyone's going, oh, it's Rain. Yeah, forget him. They won without him. It's like, well, hang on. They still were winning with him without Rops. So, poor guy was getting a bad rap.
Yeah, that had to have been a weird feeling and probably a weird set of emotions on that trophy for Rain. He'd obviously like to win another one just so he can be on stage, just so he can be part of the celebration and be part of the contributions. Everything taken away from players right at the end of the round. Good lurk from Rops, making sure they could never evacuate that A bomb site. Coming in right at the end. Weapons coming in for players, all the rifles, M4s on 4 players. Shiro's going to start this off with an AWP. There's 4 players with head armor because obviously they realize there's a couple like MAC-10s, SMGs on the other team, a Galila as well, so they need that head armor to make sure those weaker weapons won't take them down too easily. First gun round going live. Twist and Brokey towards Banana. Kerrigan's going to be behind them in support with utility and grenades. Rain and Rops on the other side of the map.
Nade goes over the half wall at Banana. That'll do fractional damage to anyone at the top side, but no one there. Being passive, it's just Shiro, in fact, that's over on that side of the map right now. Flash off the angle. He's back inside of the site, so Hobbit needs to be careful when he wants to rotate, if he wants to rotate, because he's got a smoke in front of him at top middle as well.
Oh, there's a stack, though. Molotov might bust it up. Inter's going to fight in the flames, bring him down. He knows he's going to die eventually. Good kills. Good setup so far from players. They've handled it well, and they never saw Exile coming. Wow. Good shutdown early on. Set the tone with a 4-man stack in middle.
That was all good and well, except that they put the Molotov on Inters, who manages to get one. They didn't actually check for the fight that he was going to be shuffling, as far as I could see, unless it was a quick check. They didn't expect him to be in the corner. But they did it after the smoke dissipated. So Hobbit was already isolated, and then they go out and they get wrecked by him as well.
They wanted to attack Rapside. They probably didn't expect for there to be a stack. The Molotov is meant to prevent anyone from swinging into the fight as they wrap around. Just a little bit of a miscalculation, but you're right. Obviously, when you kind of get countered blindly like that, it does look a little bit silly. Op going to be in the hands of Brokey. Op in the hands of Shiro still, obviously, and he's back towards the A bomb site. In fact, he's getting aggressive. Rain could shut it all down, though.
Oh, good push from Rain. Exile couldn't land a shot. Inters will follow it up because, again, there's 2 players in one position. Make that a third, because here comes Shiro down the bottom of the stairs. He'll catch out Rops and get away with Rain killed. Thankfully, they got that kill because Shiro would have been a dead man as well.
They've got to make this happen right now. They've got to do it before anyone rotates back. Kerrigan knows that. He knows they've spotted 2 towards the other side of the map. Twist, Kerrigan, and Brokey trying to find the entrance. Boost it up. Good trajectory from Twist.
Nafny, though, still trying to dance around this smoke. They can't get the kill. They've got to plant the bomb over CT. That kill came in. That's Twists that went down, but bomb still to be planted. I thought it was the bomb planter, and I was going to say, with the smoke gone on CT, this becomes very awkward, but they'll get it on the ground. So now the utility matters not, the positioning matters more. Brokey's going to get blinded off. That's an unfortunate flash that he just didn't see with the scope being in the position that it were, and Kerrigan down. They know he's likely to be the back of the site. They'll Molotov off at the pillar, but they've got to cover around on Emo, and he's locked in the corner. There's no chance they don't double peek this. He can hear them running in. He's pre-scoped. He's anticipating the jump. He only gets one, and that's exactly the trade they were setting up for.
So much patience from players, and why not? You have so much utility used at the end. They still have 2 flashes. They had 2 HE grenades. They had 1 Molotov. All of that to deal with Brokey's position. They obviously knew exactly where he was as well. Good job from players. I really like this. This is now 2 rounds. The 4-man stack in middle, and then the 2-man initially push in towards Halls with a 3rd there in support if anything goes wrong. And they never saw Shiro all the way at the base of the stairs to pick off Rops.
Did ESL get these jerseys made for players? Because I've never seen these ones before for sale. They look kind of fun.
What are they wearing?
Just blank shirts with kind of like a mixed gray and material pattern. It says nice. ESL on them. Might make a nice running top or something, you know?
Okay. Well, Maniac was right. We are doing fashion analysis.
Yeah, we are. He's not, dude, I feel like he would be great at that, let's be honest.
Oh, he would be. He'd be wonderful.
If I could pick one man on the broadcast team to dress me, or to pick out what I wear, let's be clear, I don't want anyone visualizing that wrong.
Okay.
But it would be him.
I'd go with Machine.
Okay.
Machine would give me something.
Off his style, though.
No, I absolutely don't either, but it would be funny.
I feel like you just look like an evil villain with the ball, you know.
Yeah, with the ball head.
The streetwear.
Give me a cat to put in my lap as well. And Give me a look I'd never even imagined. Shiro peering down Banana. He's got support this time. Previously, he was alone here. Ooh, spots the body. Takes out the hip. Gonna stick around a little bit longer, but not overstay his welcome. New angle and retreat. 5-on-4 for players. Rain, Rops, Twist, and Brokey consolidating down at the base of middle. One smoke, one flash. For Banana, not enough utility to make any kind of a hit at the A bomb site comfortable. Not enough utility to negate those crossfires that could be there. So drop one in CT spawn. See if you can get a bit fortunate. Might need a God flash.
Oh, shot out Shiro. He's forced back between oranges one. That baits them in toward Nathany, though. Good shot, Rops. Gets the return, and Rain knew where Shiro was gone, so the Deagles come out flying again. Hobbit only managing one back. Rops has the AWP picked up, and it's a 2-on-2. FaZe busting into the B site.
Oh, great shots from the Deagle, but I think players are going to want to play that one differently if they could go back in time. Unfortunately, they've got to get through the AWP in Rops' hands. He's very low. This time they don't have all the utility in the world. Axile, Molotov, and HE grenade. Brokey's going to look towards Ruins, and he's taken down one-on-one. Rops the only one, and he's got it. Inters tries to bait out the shot, but couldn't get behind the wall fast enough. And FaZe steal one away for a 4-2 lead.
Solidly stolen away as well. That is pretty impressive trades coming in. I mean, it just goes to show you sometimes, not necessarily, but that was a sick shot.
That's the repeat that you don't need, though. Nathany can just tuck into that corner and just kind of hold it and make sure they cannot comfortably close in on the AWP. And that made Shiro have to get aggressive and have to take an aggressive peek that he also didn't want to take. So a little bit of a mistake in that defense and their teamwork there at the B bomb site, and FaZe makes him pay.
Brokey just waiting it out. Or as Maui Snake likes to call him, Brocky. At the T-stairs, Hobbit, meanwhile, looking to support his teammates by way of utility. Twists, again, trying to find the opening kill over toward Banana with Brokey there.
Looks like Hobbit's just holding a flashbang to activate Nathany when they feel the hit coming in. Here it comes. We'll see if this UMP can get anything done, or excuse me, MP9 coming through. Ooh, yeah, nicely done. I thought the SMG would come out from spawn. It was Hobbit to actually make the jump, and he's got the opening kill on a Kerrigan. Players have actually done a very good job of finding the opening kills once the guns have come out.
That was pretty nifty little flash. Yeah, bounce, and then even with the smokes down, Kerrigan never sees it coming. He traced him well through the smoke also, because he hit the first two shots. Kerrigan went scurrying back toward Banana, and then he landed the last. So pretty solid job overall. Rops going to go back over toward Banana and join his teammates. He's got Rain with him. This is going to be a B hit. 42 seconds.
It's got to be a great hold as well. There's no utility. There's no kits for the players rotating from the A bomb site, and Shiro has no armor. So they're going to want to hold this off if Nathany and Hobbit can't be impactful here.
Pushing forward. Good shot from Rops. Nathany drops. They need to be aware of Hobbit, though. He's the one that went missing in the back of the site after the opening kill. Kerrigan never saw where he was shot from, so he was able to rotate back out quickly. He gets the boost. He gets 3 in the round in total, and that leaves us with just 2 FaZe players, but they're ready for the rotation. No shot landing. Brokey can't catch off the first player on rotation, but he nails Axile. Inters will slide up further and try and get inside of the chapel. But look at this play. Okay, I thought they were going to counter boost the smoke. I thought Rops and Brokey were going to try and catch off one more. Instead, they'll fall with the AWP back to Banana, and I don't think they're going to go for this. They don't have kits.
They don't have it. I think Inters is just...
Oh, that's a big miss.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, that's just a risky play from the M4 as well. They had to do 2 of those, right? Even the play just to get the things initiated from CT spawn, you had to just dry swing on Brokey and pray that he missed the shot. He did, but without flashbangs to push him back, without nades and Molotovs to prevent those repeaks, that's tough going. That's a long route to try and make work against an AWP of Brokey's caliber. 3-round lead for FaZe, and probably more frightening is the economic control and dominance that they have set up just now. The double kill from Hobbit just wasn't enough. Brokey aggressive enough to thin the herd and make things easier for his team. FaZe looking good to start Inferno.
Yeah, looking solid.
The man with the mustache.
The man with the mustache. You make that, the way you say it, it sounds like a novel or a playwright. There is FaZe. With Robin behind them. So not a lot of discussion going on at this point in time. We're getting back underway quickly. Shiro, AWP is going to be the solo. Okay, I was going to say I would force pistols around this, guys, given the lost round bonus, but they're going to keep it pretty light.
Yeah, I mean, they have enough money to buy in the next round. They have a 3-round losing bonus, so they're going to get just under $2,900. They're going to have cash for the rifle, so don't put yourself out of a gun round by investing in armor and upgraded pistols. Just a few weapons in case Shiro's able to give you some hope. And also some pistols to perhaps protect the AWP if needed. Good shot from Shiro. That's Rops discovered. Little bit of a pop flash, and unfortunately Nafany doesn't have one of those upgraded pistols. FaZe likely to just press the issue here at the B bomb site. Hobbit can't get anything done. He's taken down by Brokey. And now the plan for players is for Shiro to save this AWP. He should be backing away from CT spawn any moment, maybe looking for someone to walk into this crosshair, but that shouldn't happen. Brokey's going to stay put. Inter's making sure Shiro can fall back towards the A bomb site when he needs to, just controlling Rap side of that A bomb site.
FaZe on their 6th round already. It looked like they were, I mean, keep in mind, this could have been a 3-3 game. In the gun rounds, it was all players to start it off.
This is cool, though. You know, obviously they're abusing the fact in these past few rounds of light nades and light utility and light money for the player side of things. But if you go back to the first 2 gun rounds, we had that 4-man stack in middle from players. You had that 2 to 3-man halls push. Both of those were extremely successful in wiping out that portion of the FaZe attack. Ever since then, it's been FaZe falling into repeated B hits, and we haven't seen that players can actually stop that effectively.
And we're not seeing a lot of banana control attempted early on either, which is surprising because I think with the drop to utility, a lot more teams are being aggressive in that position.
Yeah, it seemed that's kind of what I was getting at. It felt like in my mind when I was watching it, I was like, oh, players seem to have like a really good feel for what FaZe want to do and a really good plan coming into this in those first 2 gun rounds. I mean, remember the 4-man stack in mid had Shiro alone with the AWP, so obviously you're not going to challenge. You want Shiro to be able to get a pick. But yeah, we haven't seen that typical brawl. Maybe we get it this round. Players have tons of Molotovs now. They've got, 4 Molotovs, they've got 5 smokes, they've got plenty of HU grenades and flashbangs. They could be aggressive there if they want, but it's just going to be Nafany and Hobbit. And Hobbit's going to take a peek at the car, a little bit blind, spamming through. He realizes how close they are, transfers over. Good return from Twist, who's also brought down to 19 HP, but that's unconfirmed damage.
That's pretty...
It's not bad from Hobbit.
Considering he got the damage on Twist, like you said, though, unconfirmed. Was on like his last 5 bullets, I want to say. I couldn't quite hear the springing, but I wasn't really watching. I know he was firing for a while and still hits the shot before dying. That was all he was good for in that situation.
Yeah, re-aggression from Nafany as well towards sandbags. Smoke put out. He's got a Molotov whenever he feels like he needs it. That'll make FaZe nervous. When that smoke fades, FaZe is going to be saying, okay, we need to clear sandbags now. So there's going to have to be another set of utility out of FaZe to allow them to safely get in position to attack the B bomb set if that's what they want. So there's going to be an audible cue for the player's defender. That's Nafany, and he'll be able to throw out his counter nades and call over for help. There's the audio cue. Pop flash, they can get around the corner, and obviously plenty of footsteps. There's the counter utility from Nafany. Still has 1 smoke to work with late in the round. 35 seconds when he deploys it. That'll take us to about 15 seconds, and FaZe might want to bust through this, and indeed, I think they will. Nafany, oh, a little bit blind. One's gotten past him, one's gotten very past him. And into the B bomb site again we go. Players still not able to shut down these hits.
That's, yeah, this is going to be something they absolutely need to talk about because even with Hobbit putting a bit more pressure on it than previously, he only gets 1. I mean, he gets 1. I shouldn't say only. He gets 1 and gets a good amount of damage, and then they do nothing afterwards. Where's the dink that gets Swiss? I guess it was just the nade. He already took damage before that.
Took a little damage. Yeah, the nade chunked him down that last bit. Rain had no idea where the bullets were coming first, but look at him spinning. Just like an auto turret. Shiro might try and get 1 at the end, but no one's going to come in this direction. 7-2, 5-round lead for FaZe. I have to think that round, you leave Nafany there alone. If you're players, I think you're saying, look, eventually they're going to have to go to the A bomb site. Eventually they're going to have to come back and try their luck on this side of the map one more time, and they're trying to read Kerrigan, what he's going to be calling, and he's putting together a great game so far as an in-game leader for FaZe, as we've come to expect out of him.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people give credit to his in-game leading, especially after Katowice going through it the way that they did. You know, he had so many, look, he may not have that major under his belt, but he's got so many rosters that he's really made successful. Mouse Sports lineups, the early Astralis lineup, no doubt about it. You go to Dignitas TSM, Quest Denmark, as it were. And now obviously with FaZe again, so he seems to always find a way to be among the elite in any given lineup he has. That alone should speak for itself. Shiro's going to back off. AWP Arch side. He watched toward the doorway at Boiler, where in which FaZe have already started to occupy. So this is the change-up. Even though they've been so successful at B, Jason, they can't expect to go there every single round all game. And with Hobbit being a little more aggressive last round, they put some early smoke down this time, and FaZe is just going to try and play A instead.
Comes the utility. Shiro's going to have a decision to make. Exile's burning. He's got 1 kill. That's Twist to go down. Kerrigan lurking on Rap side, but there's 2 players here. You shall not cross this for sure. Good frag from Nafany. 3 versus 5, but Nafany and Exile are low. It could get thinned out and evened up pretty quickly.
So the drop smoke to allow them further out the doorway at Apartments, but it gives Exile a bit of a one-way through the carts. He fires, though. That gives his position up. Rops knows he's now directly underneath. The damage already done. He makes no mistake in collecting what Twist had started, as Rops will flash out toward the graveyard as well, just to make sure sight is cleared. Smoke still down on Moto. They can't get fully around the corner toward Inters, but now they will. Brokey up close. No mistake on the AWP. Taps the plant to see if he's safe, and then has to try and hold it this time and rely on Rops to cover the angle. Flash goes out. Moto not blinded by that, and Rops, or excuse me, Brokey rather, still aware that that's a possibility. I don't know if they're going to be aware that Hobbit has gone for the flank. So they're trying to triangulate this. They'll set up 2 toward the lane and the 1 at Moto to wait. Rops is staring here. Does have some indication, but Shiro's found him directly. And now the AWP in the side all by himself. Nafany's already lurked out from the library. And it's going to be the third round for players.
Good retake with light nades from players to get their 3rd round on the board. Another success at the A bomb site. Still looking for that same kind of success towards the B bomb site, or else FaZe is just going to rinse and repeat over there and run away with this half. Despite the fact they get the 2 early kills, this one onto Twist. Shiro is able to find Rain. I mean, despite the fact they get the opening 2 kills, it's a 5-on-3. This round was scarily close, brought down to just 2 players. So good recovery from Brokey and Rops to make that doable. Now you get to see some nades picked up from players. Everyone's flush with cash. 2 kits as well. 3 players at the top banana. You wanted a bit more control from the CT side, Matt. You're going to see him try and attempt it at least here. Good nade onto Nafany. Utility is out late. They want to activate Hobbit out in the open. Twist gets caught. That's a great sequence from players, and they control banana.
Definitely something that they've been after. Banana control, we knew there had to be a change eventually, and Kerrigan's going to work his way in, has no idea he is a dead man. Hobbit already sneaking forward. The aggression is catching them off because they have not seen it throughout the entire half. So a 2-man advantage to work with now on the player's side.
Exile just above Shiro playing anti-flash. Oh, so blind. That's awkward. Good shot. Exile as well helping him out in Boiler. Tense. It's just Brokey in the 1 versus 5, so players look to string 2 together.
Brokey firing the AWP as well. They know he's at bottom middle, but if he was going to scurry back to spawn and save, he didn't make the right call in doing it because they were already approaching his position. He'll go down. And now something to go with. There's the jerseys, Jason.
Yeah, they look nice.
Yeah. Maybe this would give us some of those and we can brand them. They can put my new gamer name on the back, Boosted Kid.
You are boosted. We boosted you all the way to silver 2.
No, gold Nova 2 now. I'm climbing quick, you know, considering we're like 9-0 in global. But, you know, it's fine. Thanks. Thanks, Valve.
Well, FaZe starting to run out of funds as well. Dig deep into their wallets for this buy. Twist, Solo, and Banana.
Shiro waiting for that smoke. Aware that they could go through it, so is Crosshair wide off the wall.
They want to attack Rap side. There's going to be contact here when the smoke fades. Rain and Kerrigan close by.
Nafany's with him as well. He's not actually on top of the pallet, which a lot of players will go for with having a different angle, but Shiro gets the first shot. Nafany overextends, but Inters comes back around to take out Kerrigan. They need a trade underneath of the atrium, and just barely Brokey gets that shot before they can fall away. Rops nearly caught off with a repeat. He's spotted. That gives away the positioning of Exile.
Hobbit's very aggressive. Hobbit's very aggressive. That's a huge win. Gap in the smoke. Drop the Molotov. Fall away, Hobbit. You're playing with death. He's playing with fire as well, and that's going to keep him safe for the moment. Tucks himself back into the dark corner. Down mid we go. Rops looking for the flank. It's Exile who gets picked off. Oh, players overextending a little bit, but Shiro, he can stop this. He can put a stop to this with his ult, but you can't miss. Jumping shot, and he doesn't. So much accuracy. Rops has a chance for a 1 versus 2.
Brokey was actually lagged on that one, but he was already low HP. Rops is stepping up again. Hobbit's the B player, so he knows it's got to be a rotation, but where does he come from? It's not going to be CT, but Rops still looking that direction. Needs to try and find better ground, and rather than sitting and resting in the site and letting him control the angles, he's going to take matters into his own hands all the way up to Graveyard, using the Vespa, using the headshot angle, and finding phase number 8. Brilliantly done by Robin Cool.
Yeah, that's too much. Again, players just... You're giving things away. You're giving all the opportunities, and you could see Hobbit shaking his head, just saying, "This is too much. I shouldn't have been put in this 1 versus 1. You can't have these players dropping like this." Exile, you're way too exposed to watch for that fallback. You're the only player that's really in a good position to defend the A bomb site. It puts Shiro in an awkward position, who gets picked off as well.
I almost feel like Exile got baited by timing because he saw Rops falling back, took that shot. Rops wouldn't have seen him, and then he's like, well, hang on, I'm just going to push down after him. They're going B, and then Rops is like, I'm just going to turn it around on you now.
Yeah, the kill from Hobbit actually allowed FaZe to just kind of fall back there, but that's got to be so frustrating. So frustrating. 4-round lead.
So Brokey's AWP this time again toward Banana. Nice nade. That'll land straight on the feet of Nafany. He's down to 46 HP already. And they know he's there because he had to Molotov himself out. He's going to go front bags instead. Oh, that utility burst, though. Brokey on 33. Hobbit caught out by Twists, though, and he nearly caught out Nafany as well.
Feels like that frustration is starting to get to him a little bit there. Early in the map. For attempts at individual heroics, Hobbit picked off over the smoke. Shiro's gotten here, Nafany's got here, but a missed shot, and they have no one inside the bomb site. Players have to at least consider for the moment, if they don't get any kills here early on of this post plant, might be time for another save. As painful as that may be, Nafany looking over coffins, he goes down, and surely that's the signal. Surely that's the one that says, we don't want anything to do with this fight anymore.
Holding fine line on that gap. Smoke goes out. They tried to peek into it, couldn't get it done. Enters. He gets Kerrigan, but that's after in which Shiro went down, and Rops now pushing toward the tree. Good flash, but he has the lineup already there. Enters cannot get anywhere. Exile. Rops is going to go down with the bomb, unfortunately, but Exile trying to stay alive will get the AWP. Twists keeps the AK, but that's not going to matter for FaZe. Money, well, not a plenty, but a decent amount. So that AK is somewhat significant.
Players have to buy. Well, they have the money for it. It's not like they're on too much of an edge. They are going to invest into it, especially with that saved op. Shiro's able to drop a weapon over to a teammate. So one more solid buy coming in for players. They'd love to scrape these last 2 rounds. FAMAS on Inters and Nafany. The op is in Shiro's hands. M4 and Hobbit in Exile. And they still have not found a way to defend against this onslaught from FaZe. Ooh, nicely done, Hobbit.
That is pretty good.
Good for you.
I'm proud of you.
Well done.
Molotov will cover off the CT connection. There you go. It looks just like an afro on top of those barrels. But Banana again for FaZe to work with. Nade as well is going to bounce off the mid corridor. Off of Dracula's house. There's a house that's yellow in an alleyway just like this in Sighișoara, Romania, if you want to look that up, and it was Dracula's house.
Cool.
That was where he was born into.
Fun fact of the day.
Yeah.
With Matthew Trivet.
Yeah.
Exile just peering to the left of the hay cart. Looking for a cheeky frag. Nade should chunk down Rain pretty decently, and indeed it does. Down to 33. That's actually spot on. However, with Twist lurking in Banana, 4 players from FaZe are lined up to make this a very effective hit. Flashbang from Shiro actually blinds Inters and prevents him from peeking with it. That actually might scare FaZe away from this hit, and indeed, they're falling back. They feel a lot of pressure. They're hitting a great timing as well. Players actually feel the pressure even more. Nathany's pulled all the way over. Twist and Brokey are getting this started. Hobbit has no help. He's just got to chill. He's boosted up. Opening kill for Twist, peeking at long range. The AK is going to win that fight every day of the week. So will the AWP.
Shiro.
FaZe is reading players like a coloring book.
Is that reading?
Yes.
I'm confused. Does that mean they're really, like, they're simple to read, or that FaZe can't read?
It means they're reading them very well.
Oh, okay.
Coloring book is a simple book to read. It says, this will end up being a cat.
It usually doesn't.
Well, we had different coloring books growing up. Good kills from Exile. Low impact, obviously, well, no impact, really. Money doesn't so much matter at this stage of the game.
Ooh, yes, Shiro gets Brokey at least. So AWP held over for the final round of the half, but it's already 10 for FaZe. That is a pretty incredible scoreline. And they'll go straight back onto the weapons on their side. All AKs, just to note. There's that beautiful body block.
That was about the only positive thing to happen to players in the whole round. Everything after that was horrifying. Twist, those fights he loves. Loves them very much. 10-4. Kerrigan showing some real class in his calling this half. Manipulating Inferno's rotations to perfection. 3-man stack at the top of Banana for players. One more desperate attempt to hold on to it.
Molotov down, extinguished, and that's extinguished by someone other than Brokey, so as it deploys on the other side of the fire, massive gap for him still to peek with Twists. Is going to get closer to the half wall, and they're going to boost above him. This is a problem because no one tends to look directly upward on this situation. And oftentimes the man over the wall spots thou who under him more often.
Yeah, they obviously have no idea he's there, though. That very easily could have gone the other direction. I think they were actually activating. Twist was calling for the flashbang to turn around the half wall, and it was just a little bit late.
Shiro holding top middle this time. Rain is staring in that direction, but backing off. Rop's already inside of the apartments, and he'll start working up. He's just going to go for picks inside of the site. Exile is at the pitch. Shiro, good shot to start it off. Exile follows that up and falls back to the balcony. Rops knows he's there, but then would still have to bypass the site. Not with that lovely smoke in position, and he can now elevate himself above it as well. But as he drops in, he's spotted. Now they both know he's there, and he still gets the lineup as he tries to chase the player of Inters going inside of the site. He gets the free kill on Shiro, who walks out in front of him, and that means Brocky's now got Inters. It's falling apart.
Gross.
Oh my God, Rob's Nathany's head explodes in front of his eyes with a single click of the AK. It's all on Hobbit again. Another 1vx that Hobbit's going to be thinking, how the hell am I in this position? And Brokey's got his number this time, 11-4.
What a great half from FaZe. You got to give all credit where it's due. They just worked players. We'll see if players can recover, because they're stressed. They're quiet, they're frustrated, and they've got to come back on Inferno. We'll be right back for the second half.
Hello and welcome back. I'm going to go over the key tendencies and strategies that can be found preparing against FaZe's Inferno. Starting off on the T side, we first want to look at the key positions and who plays them. We should be expecting Twist to be that lurk towards Banana, Robs to be the apartments player, and either JKS or Rain to be that boiler mid player. The first tendency to watch out for is whenever Kerrigan throws this smoke towards the banana car from spawn. When he throws this smoke, this is usually a sign that FaZe are hitting A. The most common ways are either through a halls pop with 3 people, or a fast A wrap using smokes and flashes towards the arch side and library. CT should be generally aware of these 2 possibilities whenever they see this smoke come out. Now over on the CT side, we also want to be aware of who plays which positions. We should be expecting Kerrigan and either JKS or Rain to be holding down B, Robs as the halls player, Twist as the A site rifler, and Brokey with the op towards A. The second thing to watch out for is this smoke at middle. This smoke has only been used a couple times, but each time the smoke has come out, they coordinate a boost on the edge of the smoke to spot down middle. Teams definitely need to be cautious when seeing this smoke. The third thing to watch out for is this setup towards the apartments with Robs and Twists. This is a setup that FaZe usually do at least once a match, so any teams clearing apartments through the stairs or window need to be aware of this possibility. That wraps it up. See if you can spot any of these tendencies or tactics in FaZe's next match on Inferno.
Just subdivide. I'll show you how it's done. There's no sight we go inside. The man he is the one. You build your walls, faith in God. They never come around. Then wonder why we all defy the burden to be born. We're coming home with a mission.
We get back underway in the second half of the first map, Inferno, with Overpass third in this. I should say, excuse me, Mirage is up next as map number 2, but it's 11-4 for FaZe. That's coming off the T side, Jason.
Yeah, and those are not happy faces on the players' side of things, and I think you could tell in some of the ways they were playing, frustrated that things weren't going their way. I think towards the end of that half, you really saw players kind of falling out of that team cohesiveness. A lot of players trying to take some individual fights or individual playmaking that just went against them, and I think that's part of the reason why we have such a spread scoreline. 11-4 lead. FaZe got a lot of rounds to play with, but it's not done just yet. We'll see if they can, how well they can call against this defense. They just got a masterclass in it. Nade takes a little shot. Nade coming out over the half wall, but backing up is Axile to avoid any real damage. Twist and Rain to defend. Kerrigan has a flashbang. Here it comes right now. It might just be perfect. Actually, there. It's great. That's wonderful stuff. Twist with a double kill, and he's got Shiro right through the edge of the board. That's the bomb down.
Sick round. He didn't even take any damage yet. I should say he does get a bullet from Nafny, but he delivers one far greater in return. Brokey's not going to let him get the ace. It's too far away. Hobbit's down. Twists with 4. He was looking for it. He pushed. He was like, I'm on for it. I'm going all the way down there. But good start. The second half for him.
Yeah, they're toast. This is over. I think FaZe is just going to run away with this one. See if there can be some kind of a comeback. Great stack. Great flashbang from Kerrigan. The Molotov splitting the attack as well. That's a great execution from FaZe. And obviously some fine pistol work from Twist. 8-round lead from FaZe. For FaZe.
Nice nade, bounced off. Hobbit catches that. Ooh, gap? Or is that just misleading due to the smoke, or the flames, excuse me? It made it look a little bit like a graphical glitch, but no gap. Brain couldn't see through all the way.
However, he did get ticked by that Molotov, so Gambit, or excuse me, players might be just sitting here thinking, you know, let's pop flash and just brum rush him. He's going to be close. Let's check trees. And if that's the idea they're operating with, I think they're about to get slaughtered.
Rain backed off on that as well because he may have suspected it, but they switch weapons. He goes right back down there to stay aggressive. Kerrigan's the one that's going to have to flash and support him in this situation. So some utility tossed around, and free kill for Rain. Ooh, dinked up though. There's the flash. The swing from Rain gets another. Kerrigan's gonna join him in the killing. And just like that, we're down to only 3 players left in the round as Exile will put Rain down finally. But Shiro and Hobbits have a combined 18 HP. Brokey's joined Banana in this party. And Kerrigan wants more. He wants to farm up the cash. He's going to nearly do it, but runs out of ammunition. Okay, Exile.
We'll give him that one. Why not? I was going to say, like, the only way they get through this is if someone jumps and hits 2 incredible headshots that don't make any kind of a sense whatsoever. He does get 1. 13-4 now. AKs and Galil's coming in for players attack. This map has not gone any of the way they would have desired. FaZe is picked, obviously, so I guess all is not lost in the world, but, you know, it doesn't get any easier with Mirage coming up next against FaZe as well.
Did I see that rightly at the end of that? No, okay, so he was just shooting the M4 away. I thought he took the ammo out of it and then shot it down to bait them with it. That would have been incredible, but that was out after the round. Here, pick up this weapon and with your pistols, and then realize when you go to shoot it, you're out of ammo.
That's why you're golden over, Matt.
That would be next level, all right? Like, look, hey, I'm gonna just, in the chaos, I'm gonna shoot this empty M4. Yeah. He's gonna pick it up thinking, ooh, we can get him, we got a rifle, and then I'm gonna bait him with it.
That's one of those things, just using your brain too much on that one.
Yeah, I know, Counter-Strike's just too simple for me, what can I say?
Yeah, when you've got a brain like yours, it's tough sometimes.
I know. See, in my world, gravity's 2-directional.
Kerrigan's close up. Down Banana, can have that fast flank. Wouldn't risk a whole lot with an SMG if he picks his time right. Rops and Brokey wrap side waiting for the smoke to fade. Nade is gonna come in and, ooh, misses its mark. Misses its mark just a bit. They're coming right at this. Rops is blind. Attention taken away. He somehow recovers in time and gets both. I have no idea how that works. I don't think players do either, but what are you supposed to do from here?
Die. Exile will at least put Rops down finally. Shiro knows there's more around the corner. Good flash, can't do it. Brokey's there instead. Didn't anticipate the second member, and the bomb is now firmly in the possession of FaZe. No one covering off pit side, but they do have one more back in the site. That, of course, being Twists at this point. And it is all on enters. They know he's there. They bait him out. He fires a few shots, and Brokey goes around the corner to finish off an excellent round. 14-4.
Yeah, players is not clicking at the moment. That flashbang comes in just late for that peak as well. The peak is just right before it. Craziness. What a great job from FaZe on both sides of this map at the moment. Obviously early going in the CT side, but it doesn't look like they're going to have any problems. 19 kills on Brokey and Rops. Ooh, that's not ideal. This is unbelievable. Just enough attention is taken away for Rops to recover. I think that was...
Yeah, Hobbit's going to be pretty annoyed with himself on that one, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Brokey fires it off and just buys him that, like, 1.5 seconds to clear his vision. And then, I mean, Brokey just playing anti-flash along the wall as well is monumentally perfect. And nothing going right for players. Nothing at all.
Poor Hobbito. Can't get it done. Do love the guy. One of my favorite players. But now, we are 2 rounds from a potential disaster of an opening map for players. I would argue it still isn't a disaster, but maybe they can recover it. Not so far in this round. Twist gets 1, he dies, is dropped immediately after, and substantial damage delivered to Rain, but the same returned on Shiro, leaves us relatively even. The exception being that Brokey's also on 7 HP.
Yeah, but Rops is still on the map, and he's showed just an uncanny ability to recover any scenario. He was part of that recovered 2v5 at the end of the first half. The final round, Kerrigan gets dinked up. A lot of players on FaZe very low. I wonder, with this kind of health, if Kerrigan just shifts back to the A bomb site and they just gamble it, preserve the money. That's exactly what's happening. You could see him slinking off back towards CT spawn. So players, they might be able to get a freebie. Kerrigan will stick around to spam through smoke, with his fingers crossed if that gets put down. But this is looking like it's got a player's victory written all over it.
Kerrigan Ready for the cross, not ready to fire off fast enough. Does recover though and absolutely nails Inters.
Yeah, Rob's got someone on the other side of the map as well. That's the lurker, so the retake is on. Like even with the HP, FaZe is like, yep, we're gonna go for it. We're going for this all day long. And Rops gets to have a little bit of fun. All of his players on low HP, you have to expect the low HP guy's gonna go in first after Rops clears these angles. And it's just time for Rops to bait the hell out of everyone, which is always a good time.
Anthony's going to push through smoke, but Kerrigan's missing. He's already inside of the ruins. He might wrap around behind him, though. That could be a huge problem if he does, because they'll never expect it. He wants to hold CT instead, though, because he's through the smoke, and they won't know that he's there. So he walks out for one, follows it up on another. It's Robs that gets it all, and you're absolutely right. He baits them perfectly. In he goes, and down goes the round. It's map point for FaZe.
He's a human aimbot, man. This is unreal. He's playing so well at the moment. Oh, wow, how scary is that? It's fun watching a player like Rops, and this is one of the cool things about Counter-Strike is just individual players stylistically. Like Rops is such a mechanical. He's like a computer. You could see him like ticking all the boxes, step by step, turning the corner.
It's just foolish.
Ooh.
Look at that little flex from the man.
Yeah, I'd say so. Why not? 22-8 for Rops.
In 19 rounds.
And I mean, not just the number of kills, the quality of them as well. He's had so much impact. He had a clutch as well, that 1v1 against Hobbit in the first half. He's had like 2 or 3 clutches in this game, 2 or 3 like huge multi-kill rounds, a couple of them in rounds that were recovering. This has been crazy.
So Brokey waits up inside of the apartments at this point in time with the AWP. Rops will play the stairs and support that position with the rifle. Should the AWP have a chance to run down the hall, he will be covered as a result. And here we go. Inter's walking into this. Needs to be careful. That Chicken could reveal his position. He baits out the shoulder. Chicken doesn't move. A little stoic guy. Fires the shot, no one running after him. Rops holds his position, realizing they're already out middle. He nails one, uncertain as to where the rest of the attack comes from. He'll clear the boiler position, and they won't go around the wall. They won't swing in the door behind him, so he should be clear to get away at this point.
Man, between Kerrigan outcalling the hell out of players and Rops putting on this kind of a show individually, this has just been incredibly dominant. There's been no chance for players to stay in this game. Brokey with eyes on Rap. They don't know numbers just yet. It might not matter. That's Kerrigan. Headshot onto Anthony. Bomb drops forward as well. Inter's even showing through the smoke. And I don't even think any of this matters. 6 seconds. Bomb is going to go down. Nade coming in. That's certainly going to get at least one. Exile's down for the count. It's just Shiro remaining.
Solid first map from FaZe. Twists will get the final kill. They just got to cut a few wires. And they might put players in an awkward position on the next map, because going into Mirage, it's a pretty level territory. That's a huge win on Inferno.
Yeah, this was billed as a huge matchup that could go down to the wire. Didn't look anything like it on Inferno, but regardless, we're going to go down to Heku because she's going to get us some information between maps.
Here, can we have a short little interview, Mr. Rops? I mean, you just were like...
You looked at me.
I looked at you, I gave you the signal that like you should not be running away. Rops, congratulations. I mean, like you were on the top of the server. I remember that during Katowice, you guys mentioned that like you were kind of like practicing like retake servers. Is this the reason why you managed to plant like so many bombs and like just deny all of the rounds?
I think it's part of the reason why we play so good in these kinds of rounds. We definitely play a lot of retakes in between our team and just between random people, whoever joined the server at the time. So we have a lot of experience in that, yeah, and I think it helps.
And what should we expect from the next map?
Well, Mirage is the next map. We didn't expect they will pick it. We expected more of a Dust 2 or an HM pick. So a little less preparation on our side for this map. And I think if we just keep up the calmness we had and the shots we're hitting right now is going to be going our way.
Awesome. Then I'll not delay you any longer because probably Kerrigan is already waiting for you. See you soon.
FaZe walked into Inferno, puffed their chests out and said, yo, this is our pick, this is our turf, and let's show players what that is all about. And that is absolutely what they did. 16-4, a true stamp of dominance on Inferno.
Yeah, the map pick coming in from FaZe. They went for the comfort pick. It's a map we know that Karrigan loves to call, and that T side was a masterclass. That being said, though, I have to say that B-bomb set defense coming in from the side of players, it left a lot to be asking. In my honest opinion, was getting abused time and time again. But the individuals, even though Robson dropped like a 30 bomb or something ludicrous, Matthew, there was some beautiful rounds being kind of orchestrated by the Robs man himself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And if Karrigan couldn't figure out an amazing way to close the round, well, players would do everything they can to give it to them. You know, it's like a deal. Like they just worked hand in hand. Look, I'm slightly upset because obviously Karrigan called a beautiful game. The individuals from FaZe showed up in spades. But the amount of rounds where players found themselves in a good position, that's the case right here. We have a good example on round 12. We have all the trades going in their favor. They know what's about to happen. And here, Axi, for no reason, being in bench. You know what this tells me? This tells me that players doubt in their own ability to win playing by the rules. They think they have to overplay. They think they have to overcompensate. And Karrigan punished them every single time. Can we even talk about the 2v5 of last round?
Yes, we will. We'll go to round 15 directly after this, the last round of the T-side for FaZe, where they won a 2 versus 5, Blair.
I mean, listen, it's just been what, a couple of hours on the desk already for Maniac here in Pro League, and is already losing his mind.
Yeah.
But I think he hits a nail right in the head. This is a 2 versus 5, right? Round number 15, first half. Finally, a little bit of success early on for the side of players. Now it's on to Robs. Take nothing away from Robs. He's been fantastic. Axel just goes for the swing. Robs punishes him. He reads into perfection. Drops on down. Perfect timing. Catches a player out in the open. Shiro just peeks in, almost lining up with his teammate. Now the third player on the side, I think it's Inters. He can hear Brokey just barreling up. And he still talks in.
That's the thing. That is the problem, Blake, and this is what I'm talking about. When I see, I mean, obviously, you don't even talk about that shot. That's beautiful. But the fact is, we should have never been in that situation. When I see players in these situations, in these rounds, it tells me that they don't know how to close the rounds. They've come to that point of fragility, like mentally speaking, where you doubt yourself. How do we convert this 4v3? How do we win this 3v2? Surely I have to push behind them to close them. That's how you feel when you have the upper hand above you, when your opponent is on you. And that is exactly what we saw in this game. Karrigan, one step ahead.
Look, Rops has been amazing for a long time now, but I can't help but feel that after IM Katowice, you know, he's more confident than ever, Blair.
Yeah, I mean, this is the guy who was picked up by the team to be the star of the lineup, right? And then, unfortunately for him, his LAN debut was in Katowice, where, due to unfortunate circumstances, he wasn't able to play with them till the very end, you know, when he was proven to be COVID negative and so on and so forth. But now, you know, this team has started to come together. Obviously, winning Katowice was the catalyst, so to speak, for this the unit to kind of come together. And yes, they had a little bit of a rough showing towards the, you know, in the group stage early on. But again, Robs. And you cannot ignore Brokey as well. On that T side, he was delivering at the same time.
Also, Matthew, we can't forget about Rops' world-beating highlight play that took FaZe into overtime against G2 on Inferno in the finals of IM Katowice. Either way, we've got Rops and Axel aim high head-to-head up on screen.
Yeah, a comparison that didn't really hold in that game. Robs was on his own planet, in his own universe. No one could even hold against him. There is a stylistic comparison that we can make between the two, but that's a fact. Right now, Robs is in his comfort zone. He plays the roles he wants. He knows how to abuse them. On Inferno, it's a very good example. And when you can pair his game sense, his cold-bloodedness, and his skill, that's what you have. You have the perfect machine.
Guys, can we look ahead to the next map? Because in the interview between Heku and Rops said that he was surprised that players didn't go with Dust 2 or Ancient. You guys thought they were probably going to pick Overpass. What's going on here? Why are we on Mirage?
I'm not too sure about that from Rops, in all honesty, because every time, even in the group stage, whenever someone picked Dust 2 against FaZe, they got punished. They got pummeled by FaZe, so I didn't ever expect Dust 2 to come out. Ancient, I feel like Ancient can be a cruel mistress where you pick the map, unless your name is Astralis, you pick the map on the T side. You can struggle quite a bit, right? So, in all honesty, Overpass made the most logical sense, but then Mirage is a map that they love to play. They are very, very comfortable on it as well, but at the same time, it's a map that FaZe can demolish you on.
Look, based on what happened in the first map, we can drop this whole conversation. It doesn't matter what map we're playing now. It's about players getting their act together, right? That's what this is about. If you're Nafany, if you're Groove right now, you have a talk together and you make sure that you go on the server and you give your damn hardest. It doesn't matter if you lose, it's fine. But you cannot have that Inferno happen over again. So whatever it is, whatever mental hurdle you have when you play against kerrigan or FaZe right now, drop it. Drop it. Don't go for the perfect play. The perfect is the enemy of the good, right? If your players just play good Counter-Strike, stick to what you know, what you can do. Don't try and overplay kerrigan, because that's going to happen in Inferno, and it will happen on Mirage again.
Blair, Matthew, it's time for a break. Can I get a prediction here? Is it 2-0 to FaZe, or a player's bouncing back?
I'm not a flip-flopper. I am usually not a flip-flopper, Paula, but I feel like FaZe are just going to take this.
Matthew?
Are you a flip-flopper then?
Now I am.
What did you do then?
Now I am.
I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to say there's an ego reaction coming out of players, and we go to 3 Eva. Let's go.
All right, everybody at home, we'll be back with map number 2, Mirage between players and FaZe Clan after this short break.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
Zen waiting, AWP to the M4, swing back, Zen gets the kill, Orb can't line it up, 2 frags, Poison will remain, gets Sticko, now gonna peek back on Zen, gets the second kill, third player, oh he's clutched it, Poison! Incredible play! 4K, not the ace, but Sandy's pumping himself to deal with it.
From Heroic, they are few and far between. Nice find from Tessus.
Okay.
2, in fact. He hasn't ready for over. The spray can find him as well. Tessus is doing it all. And now Stan is his next victim. That is ridiculous.
Well, we get ready to get into our second matchup, and hopefully players will play the game and get a little bit more going than perhaps they had on Inferno. It was a pretty one-sided scoreline, Jason.
Very one-sided scoreline. We're ready for the second map. The question is, will they be? And obviously now, taking a beatdown like that, you got what we saw on the desk is a lot of questions into the theory behind this map veto process from players coming into this. Let's hope they had a nice break. You can see him trying to get hyped up as the game is about to go live. This is going to be a tough affair if they want to force us onto a third map. Freeze time winding down. Final comments, final plans being made amongst these players. Players going to be starting on the T side here in Mirage. Their own map pick. Shiro's got P250 armor and a Molotov. Nafany with a Glock smoke. He dropped over the P250 as well. And we are underway. Map 2, FaZe with a 1-0 lead in the series here in the round of 12.
Kerrigan, good shot to start it off. Clean and concise, but he gets traded out. Inters gets the response. Brokey now trying to cover this crossfire setup. Twist came back from Catwalk. Gets one on his way back to the site. Brokey's still alive, so don't be misled by the fact that the HUD suggests it's a 2-on-2. It's not. There's still a third. As Twist goes down, Brokey has kept himself alive by falling back inside of the checker room. No, take that back. Excuse me. He's at the pillar. I thought he went all the way back through the door, so he's still inside of the site. They have to find him, but his teammates looking directly at him to get the information based on his position. As he swings out, Exile will punish him. They're not able to get the trade immediately. Bomb planted. And they should know both have come through the window as Rain gets dropped. It's Rops, the man who is incredible on Inferno, that has to try and go against Exile, who tags him up, but not nearly enough. Down to 89. It's all about time and space at this point with the bomb ticking away. No kit for Rops and no life either. Great shot from Exile. Much better start.
Well played 1v1 as well. The reposition is fantastic. Rops just loses track of him, and even though he has a good peek there, a good fight to take, Exile is able to win it out. 3 kills and a very grindy piss around at that B bomb site. 1-0 for players. Good to see them get out to a positive start. Maybe helped shake some of the jitters loose after that map 1 beatdown. Exile doing a phenomenal job in this recovery of the round. Got a full investment from FaZe. They've bought Deagles. Brokey's going to stick without armor for the AWP. Kerrigan on the scout. Mid control as Hobbit, Nafany, and Shiro stream out towards top mid.
It's going to be like likely to do damage. It does put Hobbit down to 54. So that one nailed Hobbit. I thought it would get 2, but I think Nafany just got around the edge of the boxes in time to get away from that. He'll push down to the bottom side of middle with a Mac 10.
Rain's actually got a deep angle in towards Palace as well. So they have a decent amount of information at the A bomb site, which is why they're able to stick around in mid so much. And that's going to be a powerful position the later this round goes, if Rain's able to maintain that intel. Kerrigan peeking towards connector. Twist and Rops can work together on Catwalk. As Twist plays the corner, Rops can hop over in towards ladder room if they want to double up on any kind of a play there, but it's not going to be coming from that direction. 4 players from players lined up in upper B. Hobbit just lurking in middle with about half health.
Exile checks corner. Comes back out. Brokey tags. That's going to put him very low. It allows Inters to collect, but Rops doing the same damage that Twisted capitalized on. Still the kills level. It's a 2 versus 2. AK Galil for Inters and Shiro respectively, but Rain, now having picked up a Galil, has Kerrigan Scout to work with, and that Scout can be oh so deadly. Shiro's going to start it off, though. No deadly dealt this time, as it is another round for the players.
Yeah, and they're going to be okay with that, obviously, but it's got to be, I mean, from a spectator perspective, it's like, oh man, FaZe is making pretty much any buy be dangerous. Their crossfires, they're executing so well. We saw it on Inferno, we're seeing it now here, even with some decent kills from Inters, the Deagles ringing out and doing great work to bring that into a 2-on-2 to begin with. Some pistols upgraded, a couple more Deagles, a pair of dualies.
I knew you were going to say it. I was like, did you just say some pistols and not mention the dualies?
I was going to bring, yeah, don't worry, I'm going to get there. I might just kind of switch things up so, you know, you're not used to it as much.
I'm on edge? Got it, yeah.
Keep you on your toes.
What a great in-game leading strategy.
Am I the in-game leader of this partnership?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. Nafany going to be jumping up. Oh, nope. He's going to miss that jump, and it might be a good thing. It might have saved his life, and it does. He does control onto Rops. Exile is the only one here. He's gained access down towards Van and a pair of kills. This is what you like to see. A little bit more assertiveness, obviously, against unarmored pistols, and they know it. So there's really no fear in the gameplay. But that's kind of been the conversation around players throughout their run, throughout their transition from that online dominance last year into trying to make it work on LAN. Isn't so much, you know, the team stuff. It's just individually sometimes don't seem as assertive and as comfortable as we've seen them in the past in the online game. So still trying to figure that one out, and they're going to need it. They're going to need all the assertiveness, all the confidence in their own plays here on Mirage if they want to take us to a third map. 3-0, and the AWP is out in Brokey's hands.
And they'll go immediately toward the window with Twist's M4. Hobbit holding inside of the apartment position just to be sure if anyone dare push through Palace, they would be caught off immediately. Doesn't want to make contact yet. He's just holding to make sure his teammates can get position at A main should they take that position, because right now, very spread out across the map and not a lot of contact being made yet from the T's. They'll smoke off toward the bottom side of connector. Window as well. Actually cross it over, excuse me, it was just the window smoke. I thought I saw a second one being thrown from Horseshoe, but they didn't line that up. Now we'll get a smoke that goes that direction.
Still a good amount of nades for players to make something happen. Obviously lining up to try and split this A bomb site. Rops is here at top connector. Rain playing on top of the balcony, and you've got Brokey's op lying in wait. Rops comes right through. Nathany never expected it. Great play from Rops. Ooh, a good smoke as well. Hobbit's given up his position with the spam. That might start to help FaZe put the puzzle together of what's coming, but it's a 5-on-4.
Twist still holding out inside of the window. Ooh, flash timing, Exile. Got a sniff of the shot toward the site. Nicely done up over the cinders to try and clear the fire position with the smoke advantage, but Brokey catches him when he gets there. Still on an open angle, was able to find it. Hobbit, though, does get Rain eventually, so that Palace battle goes the way of players. He's still alive with 2 HP. That gives them now a 2-on-3, but it's going to be so desperate. Inters has to do all the work. He's tagged up. Hobbit, though, somehow gets Brokey. That's with the 2 HP. It's all on to Kerrigan. Nade. What a turn on this. That nade is massive, though, because Hobbit, he got the bomb down. Oh, my goodness. He was not the one that was planting. He just tagged him through the box. He has no idea, but he just did a substantial amount of damage. Inters goes down to 22 HP, and that means Kerrigan gets an easy shot when he peeks out.
What a tough fight. I actually thought the other guy was the planter. I thought Kerrigan just wanted with the HE grenade. Inters does a phenomenal job of taking space in that A bomb site while the rest of his teammates are going down and taking fights. He's creeping up ever so slowly. It's almost a shame this has gone against him. There's the opening kill. Aggressiveness. I think Axel might have thought that Molotov would prevent that angle from being dangerous.
Okay, Hobbit, that's how you got the player at CT. Fair enough. He had 2 HP, and that's how he got it done.
Yeah, I cannot believe Kerrigan just tags Inters right in the face through the box. That's a little bit fortunate. You can even see Kerrigan laughing a little bit. 3-1. Money is a bit busted, though. Even in a loss, players can't be too shook up by that at the moment. They have to know they have FaZe on the ropes. This would be a phenomenal reset to get early on. It would extend the economic advantage of players into the middle portions of this half.
Window smoke, naturally. They're going to boost toward the ladder room on Catwalk. Range, the one that they'll put up there. He has the MP9. So look for him to just try and close and quickly engage upon anyone that dare work up the Catwalk position. Exile's been unchecked. This is a kill. Done. See ya.
Ooh.
No one even watching it. Rain from Catwalk didn't see it, and I'm not sure what Rain's positioning was when they boosted him up in that position, because now Exile's able to lurk. Kerrigan's head removed as well. Twist is gone. Hobbit's got the kill onto him. They've just taken the entire map.
Yeah, without really using... These are all like just peeking into fights. Exile taking a lot of space. Not a whole lot of utility either. Oh, knife.
Wow.
Even
He's
getting
still
tagged.
got the knife off while getting tagged. There was communication, no turning around. He's low. They know that. They'll burn him alive. He gets the money for the knife, but yeah. His teammates like, oh, he's in the... Oh, he knifed you.
That's actually not too bad for Rain, considering he gets so much bonus money from the knife kill. That's going to help them be able to have a more sustained, more powerful buy in the next round. This is so cool. Just Exile taking over the round, completely deleting the entire middle portions of the map. And FaZe, once you lose that in that kind of a fashion, there's really no way for you to recover the round. Gotta be so happy. 4-1, 3-round lead for players, and they've relegated FaZe back to Deagles, but these are still dangerous, as we saw in the second round.
deceiving, though, they can be. Even devious at times with the aim. As Shiro will sneak his way up toward the catwalk and look through connector. Hobbit's going to work his way up this time. This is where Exile got things started in the last round. Cross smoke catwalk, there you go. That's what you were talking about. Swift punch to the jaw. Kerrigan comes out. Oh, his arm's not long enough. He does get away with the AK. Nearly cost him the time, though, because as he turns around, they're already working out the B apartments. He still gets the kill on Exile. Shiro, AWP up close, turns him down, but look at the Inter's HP. He's tagged down to 6, saved by Shiro as well. This is not comfortable right now. They're in the site. They've committed to dropping through the apartment, so getting the bomb out of there is out of the question. They'll plant it instead. Shiro's doing all of the work. Getting it done at this point in time, but do they know Robs is this far in? He sees the shadow, tries to fire in, he'll get the shot, and who else other than Shiro again? 4th kill in the round.
Yeah, he needed to do everything, especially considering he had that weird, awkward battle with Kerrigan on catwalk with the op to open it all up. That could have gone so wrong, and you could see how dangerous those deagles are, just holding angles as players walk into them, just like the previous round, without a whole lot of nades, without a whole lot of flashbangs to take the danger away. And players might be lucky to get away with this one. Phenomenal shooting from Shiro across the whole map, even recovers the op at the end of the round as well. Round 7 coming in. Brokey back with the AWP. That's the benefit of the knife kill from Rain earlier.
So 5-1, much better for players this time than on Inferno. And again, another great T-sided start. You did mention it, this is their map choice. Twist trying to re-smoke back toward the front side of the site. Molotov already down Palace entryway, but it's Rain that's going to catch Nafny off, and he's going to boost himself over top of Firebox to look at Tetris. That didn't really work out because he second-guessed himself, and Hobbit got the lineup clean and easily. As Exile works out from the underpass, they're trying desperately to rotate back over. That just means Rops is completely unaware. He's already spotted his head, but not the head shots until the second peek, and Rops never knew.
This is a great start from players. This is nothing crazy tactically, the way we saw FaZe dominate them on Inferno moving around the map. This is some flexing from individual players. That's the second time we've seen Inters just being able to body players at the 8 bomb site. I think it's the second or third time we've seen just a dry peek from the Palace player able to eliminate one of the defenders inside of the bomb site. Good shooting from Hobbit as well. And when they're having this much success kind of creeping up and finding those kills, it's just going to activate guys like Exile who are lurking in towards middle. We saw him get aggressive and clear things on his own a few rounds ago. Now we see him play it passively and prevent anyone from FaZe from helping to recover the round. 5-round lead.
Nafny from way downtown with the MAC-10. We'll get a headshot on Rain at the bottom of middle. Inter's already aware that there's someone peeking in toward the inside of the Palace position. Gets the headshot on the second shoulder peek. Get the solder gun, Jason. I need to be rewired.
Yeah, apparently. 5-on-3. Players starting to look good. Inters is hitting some bangers. There's no real danger in this round at the moment. Everyone from players is lined up just to attack that A bomb site. Utility is going to be spent to get there. Kerrigan and Twist towards ladder room and window room. Brokey at the B bomb site, so nobody's even home. This round should be easy for players, and they're going to be thankful for that they don't have to contend with anything. Build up some more money. They're starting to get a bit rich. FaZe has got to be careful. Exile hears the rotate. Brokey's going to go down here. Good shot.
Hobbit already pressing forward, though, silently. Another site that's all theirs.
This is great. This is great what we're seeing from players, and this is kind of exactly what Maniac brought up on the desk. He just said, I'm going to stick with my prediction of players. I think coming into Mirage, we're going to see just a statement game out of these players, guys, as they reset and come into this and want to show that they're not going to go down without a fight. That's exactly what we have them saying right now. 6-round lead. Heading into round number 9.
Yeah, remarkably. I mean, the way that they're winning these rounds, the best round that FaZe have had since they won a round, obviously, was that pistol round. And they brought it to a one-on-one. Rops got cut out and Shiro did all the work. I mean, otherwise, it's been just dominant. The picks, the lineups, maybe FaZe have to consider that right now and think about how you can orchestrate and position yourselves as if you had pistols, but with better weapons.
No timeout yet from FaZe, and I think part of that has got to be the feeling that they're just saying, look, we're not getting like outplayed tactically, we're just getting outgunned right now. We're getting outshot at the moment, so we don't really need to talk over anything. Molotov blows up in the sky.
Lucy in the sky without the diamond. Tough angle for Shiro, but he's been hitting shots. They'll get across him.
He's looking for the jump, though. If Brokey actually peeks into this, it might just be a leg shot unless Shiro's quick enough to transfer it up so quickly. Brokey, though, obviously knowing the angle. There's a flashbang that can ruin Brokey's position.
Kerrigan, catwalk, should be able to hear the fact that Exile was transferring underneath. So Brokey might have the information. I'm not sure exactly if he was close enough or not, but might have the information that they are going to be in apartments. I'm pretty sure he's aware. He has not budged in his position. He has not flinched on his angle, and he's ready for the peek. He nails it, drops off. Kerrigan able to support. They work out catwalk, and Kerrigan, with a smoke down, is able to thwart that approach for now. The Molotov will extinguish the flames. That'll allow them back off further. Nafany times it well, but Brokey comes back out to cover Kerrigan despite taking HP, or rather a substantial loss of HP. Rain has already rotated, so the loss of Rops confirms the last player of Hobbit. They looked away, wrong time to do so. Rain's able to swing it back and doubles up. He had to. They needed heroics considering the flash positioning, and it's all on to Hobbit. He's found Rain already. Brokey on 11 HP was the one that started this whole exchange and had to back away. They know it's the AWP. They know he's transferred away from the van to start out this round, and Hobbit's going to gamble that he's got time, therefore, to plant the bomb. Trajectory of the nade gives his position away, and Hobbit makes no mistake to put him down.
Great clutch from Hobbit. He lost a 1v1 earlier in the previous map. He gets it back here. This is great. This is great from players. Another tough round for them, but they're able to swing it out. Exile's having so much impact at the moment. 12-4 for him. 10 kills on Inters, 10 kills on Hobbit. They're doing phenomenal work. And FaZe still can't get a grip on the CT side. Now you're calling the timeout. Now you're calming everyone down and say, don't worry, we still have time to claw ourselves back into this round. We're going to have to make it into a comeback, obviously, but no time to panic just yet, as you still have a chance to keep this close going into the second half. Even with Brokey finding that opening kill on this attempted split, it's Nafany coming through the smoke that really puts the defense in a tough spot.
Sometimes in these timeouts, I mean, like you say, it's not a huge tactical issue right now.
Players have called a timeout right after FaZe's timeout.
All right, so they
got back-to-back double timeouts.
I was gonna say, sometimes it's, sometimes you just call the timeout. You don't say much if you're carrying in. Maybe Robin comes in with a few things to observe, but sometimes you just want to catch your breath. Just take a break, take a breather. You're not that far out of it. Like you're saying, that, it's 8-1. The scoreline's pretty one-sided, but it's just hit the shots. Close in the last round. Compose yourself, move on. Psychological reset as much as a tactical one.
Yeah, we just saw it on the camera too. No one really from players really having any kind of a conversation. Everyone's lips were sealed despite them
maybe that's what this is.
off that
This is like the counter psychological timeout.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you want a timeout? What timeout on your timeout? So then you overthink your timeout, and our timeout becomes more significant.
That's beautiful. Look at that head.
Yeah, you would say that. The similarities are striking.
Yeah, he obviously uses pre-shave oil. Well done.
I don't even know what that is, which I'm going to take as a win for me.
You'll find out soon enough.
Oh, okay, all right.
Give it a few years. Double scout on Twist and Kerrigan. Dangerous game. Tagged up, and actually Kerrigan's on the winning end of that exchange, and he wants to go back for more. Exile better be careful. All right, stalemate calls. Both of them right above 40 HP, so not too shabby from both players. Inter's looking for a push. He might be able to find Rain, although Rain, with no action on the map and no calls out from his teammate, that pressure's being applied to B, is going to hold on to this off angle. Again, this deal can be so effective. I think he hears the footsteps. He knows they're coming. He goes for the peek. He's oh no! Oh no! Not a third. Exile's already tagged up from Kerrigan. Rain's going to go for more with just a deagle, shutting down T-Spawn. And yeah, he's done everything he could, and now he's opened up space on the other side of the map as well as Brokey pushes up. Oh, out of the double timeout.
Rain has 7 kills, and 4 of them at least have been on deagles. I want to say 5, in fact. That's how his contributions have gone this game. He's so good with that weapon, but man, oh man. Again, FaZe with lesser weapons looking dangerous. Rops will catch out Nafany this time. Exile managing the kill only on Rain so far. Rops aware that they've come up connector, but not able to find Hobbit, so they pulled this back to just a one-man advantage. Oh my. That got awkward. Twist still finds Exile, but the AK tracing him through the box has Hobbit in another clutch. How many 1vx situations is Hobbit gonna have to play today? 7 seconds. I don't think he can get there. This one's over. He can't get to the bomb in time.
Oh, no. He was so convinced there was someone up in Palace as well. I don't think he ever knew where Brokey was, who'd never had to do anything in this round. What a great steal away from Rain. Just took so much time to recover the scenario, but even that being said, even in a loss, you got to give props to, again, the individual play of Hobbit to bring that round back. A few more seconds, and that would have been very, very doable. This is incredible. Not a whole lot of time to line up that second one. If he'd gotten the third, I think we all would have lost our minds.
I love how stoic Rain is too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Fist bump.
Job done.
Yeah, nailed 2 amazing headshots. Brokey this time underpass position. Exile to play against this. So a different setup once more. Tried to bait him in a little further. Brokey's aware. Ooh, that smoke, is it gonna... Oh, I wasn't sure that was gonna plume in time. I thought Nafany was gonna get a free one.
Rops has no idea Nafany's here. Oh, pre-aiming the angle a little bit too deep. 2 players were spotted in the underpass. I think Nafany believed he could catch him sleeping. Good heads-up play from Rops, but Shiro's got one top mid. Flashbang a little bit late, and Rops still being incredible. 3 kills in the round so far. Everyone else on the team has lost their fights, and Rops almost catches one player picking up the bomb and bailing out. Shiro would love to find this, but Rops wisely gives up the aggression.
Shiro again with the only kills so far, 4 players in this round. And
look at Exile though.
Well, you can see where Twist died as well. He was trying to push that position at mid while they were trying to play the underpass below him, his teammates. But you're right, this mid's been falling apart over the course of the round, and Exile gets in there now.
Even with Rops's, or excuse me, that players have gotten this round has just completely ruined this map. I don't know how you read this if you're FaZe, if you're Brokey. It's timing.
It's 100% a gamble. He's aware of it. He's trying to play the off angle. This wall does mean he has coverage from both connector and from the apartments, and that means he can continue to look that direction. So a good awareness situation, but you're right. It was more of a guess than a gamble, and Shiro will slide in. AWP up close, sees the gun. Oh, but he likes him from there? Okay, that's just unfortunate RNG for the no-scope. That should have been a kill, but it'll be FaZe Clan with their 3rd round.
Oh, he just missed it. Again, just like pre-aiming, he didn't expect Brokey to be swinging out. Man, FaZe have gotten away with a couple rounds. Well done from Rops. So out of the timeout from FaZe, that was followed immediately with a timeout from players. FaZe's defense has solidified their stance in this half. 2 in a row. That one convincing with 3 players surviving, so they get to build up money, and players are starting to run out of it. Hobbit down to 0, Inters at 250. Shiro and Exile worse for Ware as well. Flashbang comes in, Nafany sees the shoulder first. Good kill onto Rops, who was getting aggressive. Ooh, Kerrigan jumps into his face, getting ruined.
That was a dirty shot. Players looking to rebound and rebuttal to get their 9th, having lost the last twists. Not super concise, but he'll win out against Nafany efficiently nonetheless. So he stays with 100 HP. Brokey, though, way over toward A. Twist needs to get out of here. I don't think he's aware Shiro's at the top of middle, and he's been pretty hot with the AWP, but he looks the wrong side of the boxes. So the save should be successful.
Yeah, great kills at that B bomb site. It's too quick, it's too sudden for FaZe to rotate and try and recover the bomb site, so they're just going to back off and keep these weapons alive. 4 players survive for players, 3 for FaZe. Next round will be another full gun round. That is disgusting, filthy from Exile, who's come into this map with a lot of power. 9-4. They're moving across this map on the T side very well. We haven't seen FaZe, they've had presence in middle and on catwalk, and obviously we've seen a window and ladder room. We haven't seen them really get aggressive and try and punish kind of the mid control with any kind of like a trap setup, any kind of an aggressive push towards top mid. Once we saw them, that underpass play with Brokey and Twist that didn't really have a whole lot of impact. Round 13. Hobbit saw that. Yeah, he saw it. He knows. He's calling it out. He's blind. He's just waiting for his vision to clear so he can handle business. No window smoke. He's got to be careful. Tries to transfer down. Almost gets it, but almost loses his life as well. And now we increase the pressure on B. They know all the manpower is in middle. Kerrigan's got to hold on to everything. His teammates are falling. He's got a double kill. Make that 3. Finally falls.
That's an incredible effort from Kerrigan considering the circumstances. Hobbit had a shooting gallery at mid. He was a bit inefficient to find the first kill, but that was...
Look at Rops.
They're going to rotate this back around. Shiro as well, but you're right. Rops is already pushing up. He's going to cut off the bomb. That is the bomb, and it's down with 1:10. Now, a lot of time to work with. It's a one-on-one. Oh, excuse me. Rain's still in this, but Hobbit's going to go a long way back across the map, and Rain is in a reasonable position to cover this off as Hobbit gets caught in the cross.
Oh, no. Kerrigan, this time he stands tall. Triple kill at the B bomb site. What a phenomenal play from Kerrigan to keep FaZe in that round. Still, money's a bit busted. 2 rounds left in this half, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. But this one right here, 2 AKs, 3 AKs. It's going to be 4 AKs for players and a Tech 9 on Nafany. FaZe have done a decent job withstanding the pressure from players. This half very easily felt like it could have been a blowout with the way that players were shooting and the way they've been moving across the map. And FaZe have a chance to still make this a close half, a close affair. If they can rattle off this round, you roll out the red carpet to a 6-9 half.
Shot from Twists. Heard twice in the head of Shiro, the M4 double dink. Classic. Rain gonna spray inside of the smoke, has to back off the connector position. Twists then tries to redress window, but they have a late smoke for him, so he won't get the opportunity to strike as he thought he might. Rob's holding this close angle with Inters above on the drop. No one to flash Inters in. That has been certainly a storyline we saw with the Na'Vi games on this map, is how many times Simple was flashed in toward A main. Twist going back for it? I was going to say X-Ray's misleading. He's already outside the hole.
Yeah, they've got a 5-on-4. No reason to stay aggressive there and get picked off by some kind of a boost or creative play in towards window room. Just back off, keep an eye on it so you can call it out to your teammates, and you're also in a position to rotate to both bomb sites relatively quickly in support. Easy kill for Rops as they walk into it, and all the kills now going the way of FaZe, except for Hobbit, who's got a few more things to say. Oh, Nafany actually is able to find one. He's got to realize Rops is still inside the bomb site. Hobbit coming from the other direction as well. Rops is going to be pinned in. He gets aggressive, picks off both.
Oh my.
Good work with the up from Rops, triple kill.
And now FaZe starting to gather some rounds, individual tactics and performances to do with it. As you go back to Kerrigan, previously at B, this time Rop steps up at the end. Players lucky to have 9 already. I shouldn't say lucky, they've earned it, but fortunate to have 9 already so they can afford some of these losses because they're still in a great position.
What a great timeout from FaZe to take. I wonder if there was something actually said or if it was just kind of like, everyone chill. Everyone chill, we're getting beaten individually. As soon as we step up, it's going to be just fine. And they've won 4 of the last 5 since that timeout was taken. Hobbit's going to be lurking in middle. 16-8 on him, 14 kills on Exile. What little utility he has is spent in mid, trying to apply pressure, trying to take attention away. There is a boost up. He's got to be careful. Twist has a great chance to take him down, but just backs away from the fight. 4 players lined up outside of A to back up this lurk from Hobbit. He's at least taken attention. Rops is going to back off with the AWP and get a new position towards Ticket. Rain aggressive towards top A ramp, and Kerrigan playing in jungle.
Good shots and exchanges, but Inters with the pistol wins it out. Rain can't collect more than 1 kill. Leaves us 4 aside. Hobbit already up inside of the ladder room as well on Catwalk. Is decent position, but only if the opportunity arises. Meanwhile, back at the ticket booth, Rops will watch the admission of 1 more as Exile drops down. Shiro and Inters, though. My God, Deagles take down Kerrigan and Rops at range, and they are inside of the A site. Twists starting to rotate late, and Hobbit can be a huge problem for them now.
Taste of their own medicine. They've had enough good Deagle rounds in these 2 maps that we've seen played. Finally, Players is able to respond and return the favor. Good, easy kill from Shiro. No utility. Actually, excuse me, Brokey did have a flashbang to take away that angle, but now he's left in a 1 versus 3. They all know where he is. Hobbit's going to start shifting as well. Brokey into the bomb site. A little bit of creative movement, but can't land any of the shots, and that's it. Players survive. They get the last round of the half. A late run from FaZe Clan keeps them within striking distance. It's 10-5 in the favor of players who are trying to take us to a 3rd map in this playoff game at ESL Pro League. We'll be right back after the halftime break.
1B rush.
Oh, this is so obnoxious. I'm gonna have to beat them.
Noise B.
Yeah, on B side, on B side. One towards bench.
Tap at him.
Dead one. One more side. Side.
I'm pushing. Nice, right down.
Nice. Triple nades. Out.
2
Big nades. He's one.
Yeah, smoke window. No! They're mid!
2 minutes. Nice smoke, thank you. Escaped. Flashing the smoke. Reloading.
Nice, Harry.
Out, both there, one pals two.
Maybe flank. Jungle.
Nice.
He's a boomer, come on!
Nice, 1 HP.
I thought it was on. Nice! Let's go! Harry, please don't scream again.
Nothing ace, but
50.
Half HP B rush, still apartments. AK-47 acquired.
Nice try. Jungle, he is all blue.
Ram could be out Tetris. I don't have vision. Ooh. Nice, Chad. Good half. Well played. Oh my god. Look at the spare on Harry's face.
Lots of pressure here.
Out 10.
One middle, one triple.
Default.
Yeah, close.
CT.
Oh!
Unlucky.
I got jammed on the wall. My boomer movement, man.
Two mid. Where? Two mid.
Cool shotgun. Rush one more.
B. B plant. Backside. Coming left.
Let's go!
Ooh, nice try.
Gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now. Get up now. Go with the move, go for the goal. Lead up the stadium, you know it's on. Stand up. Go when it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up. Go when it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show them how to make it.
Well, players have definitely shown up in the second map, having gone down 11-4 in the first half of Inferno. They lead 10-5, swapping over to the CT side on Mirage. Much better position to be in, and certainly they responded well. Despite 2 rounds in a row at the end of the half for FaZe, the Eagles winning their 10th.
Yeah, I mean, some brilliant shots as well. They were actually at a disadvantage in that round. They just slid into them. So, I mean, that tended to be the strength of that T side for players was just everyone stepping up individually, shooting well. They did move very well as a team as well, find some good impactful lurks and some great clutches from Hobbit. Let's see if Kerrigan's got another good T half to call in him. Inferno was mind-blowingly excellent from Kerrigan's calling. If he can do it again here, that would be something special in this series.
Shiro's going to get the corner boost inside of the site, so a little off angle for him to hold with. Nafny already starting off the killing by taking down Rops. And here they go. Inters to bait them in. Do they expect Shiro's position? Rain. He's going to go wide by it, though. Oh, missed shots, but they never get the chance to look back. By the time Twist responded, Shiro calmed things down, and now he elevates them and excites them as he takes down Brokey in the window above, all onto Kerrigan. Man, oh man, can someone do some damage? Nafny tagged up twice and still not taken down. Kerrigan gets removed by Hobbit.
Yeah, the nightmare continues. Solid shooting outside of maybe the first initial ones from Shiro as he readjusted his aim, but that's nice. The fake doesn't pan out when Rops goes down. Players is not unnerved by any of the pressure. The Molotov towards Ticket, they're hoping, they're designed to pull a second player away from the B bomb site, but no one had to budge. Shiro and Exile holding onto the B bomb site very efficiently. Good shooting. 11-5. Much like FaZe on Inferno, a pretty dominant first half, and then winning the ensuing pistol is going to put a clock on this half for FaZe. They don't have a whole lot of mistakes to give up. They don't have a slow start in them. They have to get going as soon as the guns come out in the next round. Here we normally see that buy, but no plant. They're just going to save up for the AKs. So unarmored Glocks and a P250 on Kerrigan. This should be pretty easy for players. Should.
Yep. Operative word. Twists underneath with teammates in tow. Kerrigan will work with him. Rain trying to do battle from the lower side of the middle ramp toward the boost position onto Catwalk. Not a common angle for a fight, but Nafany wins it nonetheless on the FAMAS. Hobbit will slide out as they notice the rest are preoccupied, distracted, and the damage being done. He even gets helped out. Does exiled by his teammate in the window. Nafany getting the shot toward top middle. Could be 2 straight rounds with FaZe not getting a kill yet in this half. Let's see if Rops can change that. Quick tap to Nafany. They know where he is now.
I think he's gonna get one.
No.
No? Good call.
Thanks, man.
12-5. 7-round lead from players. But here comes the important round for FaZe. 5 AKs being picked up. They saved everything just for this round. Kerrigan with smoke flash as well. After this, it's desperation. If FaZe are to drop this round, you're in a really difficult spot. You start getting into that weird place where you want to save because you know you need things to win the rounds, but you just don't have any more to play with. You have to try and grind it out with weaker buys. Molotov being put out. Kerrigan, I felt like he wanted to pick up the pace through that. It's going to be a pop-out Palace.
Shots out doubly so. Shiro, though, able to get Rain. He's double dab. Brokey down. Rops gets only one. Finally, at least a kill for them, as it's all on to Rops. Kerrigan removed, and he, with the AK, knows he's in trouble as they slide out, follows up, but Hobbit sees him through, or rather sees his elbow past the edge of the wall and gets him through the edge of it. So, huge lead now, 13-5.
Yeah, players just look like such a different team in this map, and also, I mean, obviously, it helps when you have Shiro obviously getting a triple kill like that. He's up to 19 kills now. Hobbit's at 19 kills. Axile at 16. All the win conditions you have if you're players, all the players that you normally say, these are the guys that need to put up the numbers, the Shiros and the Exiles. They're delivering here on Mirage, and that's why they're making it look easy. 13-5. Deagles and a Tech 9 for FaZe. It's starting to get desperate, and they're starting to have those same looks on their faces that we saw in players in the first map. So both these teams at the moment exchanging blowouts, but Rain's Deagle continues to just be an automatic headshot kill.
Exile doing tremendous work again, trying to actually slide up behind him on the wall, but he was a little bit too far off the mark. Does a phenomenal job, though, with the nade as well to take out Rain. This is incredible that we're getting this sort of series. You know, we've seen it a lot this week, specifically with Navi using head trick before Boomich was here, that they'd blow out the first map and then the second one would be close. This one's not close. This is just a blowout in reverse. And remember, this is a single elimination playoff bracket. So one of these two teams is done today, and we're going to go to a map 3 potentially to determine that.
Yeah, and also probably the most important thing is don't forget that Blef flip-flopped on his prediction. He switched over to FaZe after that initial map 1. So
it's his fault.
Yeah, make sure we don't let him ever forget that. 14-5. Huge lead. Players just looking at 2 more to close out this map, and as you said, take us to the 3rd one, the deciding map in an elimination playoff series. Round of 12 here at ESL Pro League. Navi awaiting the winner in the quarterfinals. This side of the bracket is absolutely brutal.
Super, yeah. Like it's just incredible that you've got these 3 teams on it. I'm having all, I shouldn't say all won a big event this year. 2 of them certainly have, FaZe and Navi, and we know players is always in the mix and can take on any of those teams at any given time. Nafany sliding over. He's going to double up again as mid is absolutely obliterated. It's going to be map point shortly at this point, as Hobbits does have a smoke in front of him, has a Brokey staring into it with an AWP, but as they scurry away, that's noise and information that he will use to his advantage. Goes down temporarily as Twists is found. A good response at least by Brokey, but he's in a 1-on-4, 19 HP, and Shiro already has his number.
Yeah, he does. 10 chances to close this one out. What a great map from players. Statement victory.
Yeah, I think this is worse if you're FaZe, right? Especially, as I said, this is a knockout series. If you win the first map in that much of a convincing fashion and then lose the series, that hits harder than the potential comeback that it is for players.
It's an interesting conversation too, because we were starting to just kind of second guess, like why didn't players go elsewhere? Why didn't they go towards an Ancient? Why didn't they go towards a different map that might have been a little bit more beneficial to them? But obviously coming into this with a great game plan and obviously playing great individually on top of everything. Kerrigan's just got a MAC-10, and Hobbit's gonna double him up before the hit even gets started. This has been a very simplistic T-half just by virtue of the fact that FaZe didn't have all the nades to work with. Hobbit was just going for an ace. He just said, screw it, I'm the gladiator in this round.
Twist doubles up, but that's all he'll do. They slide out. Axile gets him down immediately. What a response by players. They lose the first map 16-6. They come back and take this one 16-5. No question they're in the series now, and FaZe are going to have to dig deep as we will reset for Overpass to decide the entire series. Goodness me, you got to get that one off the chest, get outside, get a deep breath, and that's what we're going to do. We'll come back in just a second and give you all of the updates on the desk.
Welcome back to the Cathedral, ladies and gentlemen. This is a final of biblical proportions. Grand Slam on the line. This will be one for the history books. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's light up the Lexus!
The first part of 2019 was all about Team Liquid, and for good reason, as this North American roster plowed through most events without breaking a sweat. And it was no different in the Cathedral of Counter-Strike.
Oh, no. Nearly got knifed. Smoked down. He has to get around them somehow. And he gets it through the window.
As favorites, Liquid went all in during the tournament and soon found themselves just inches away from the trophy and the prestigious $1 million Intel Grand Slam. Only Vitality stood in their way, and even though the battle ahead would be tough, Twist set the tempo almost instantly.
WebBK doesn't want to let them go that far this time. He takes the fight to them. Twist even gets one at range. Down to just 2. How does Twist find the second? He's got the bomb. He's got armor. Twist! He baits him out somehow! A third! And he's looking for it all the ways! RBK's gonna try and swing around the backside. Twist switches back to the Deagle instead. Confidence in his name. He's in his RBK is found!
Team Legacy, 1 cologne under their belt and $1 million bonus!
Unreal!
Some of us were wondering, even Rops was wondering, why have players picked Mirage? Well, players climbed the buildings on the map and screamed from the rooftops, this is why, because we can 16-5 you FaZe on it. An incredible performance by the players.
Listen, for me, what's most impressive is the way they were mentally able to kind of erase the memory of Inferno, because that was a 16-4 absolute drubbing handed by FaZe. And then players, they show what they can deliver here. What a turnaround Maniac. From the individuals, from the team, they dissected that city side of FaZe.
Look, you mentioned the individuals, and if we're comparing Inferno and Mirage, it's night and day. It is night and day. We can look at the first 7 to 8 rounds, and you can instantly see with what precision and decisiveness, the guys from players were entering these duels. That was instant. Axile, so sharp, direct, he was looking for kills. Same for Hobbit. These were completely different players. They truly switched up from map 1 to 2.
Yeah, Blair, let's focus in on Axile. He had a great map and a lot of impact.
Oh, absolutely. And you can just, from the beginning itself, right, you have this pistol round where he just popped off with the Glock. But apart from that, the amount of space he was able to find and just able to find his little holes. Like this round, for example, round number 5, right? FaZe had just won that rifle round by Karrigan clutching a 1 versus 2. Immediately snakes his way inside, just gets a triple kill, and just completely opens up that defense from the side of FaZe. But then again, he was so ably supported by Hobbit. Shiro was having a fantastic game. Shiro was continuing that form into the second half. But I feel like Inter is someone we can talk a little bit about here. He was comparatively quiet compared to Axile and maybe Shiro and a Hobbit, but he was impactful as well. Again, coming back to what we said at the beginning of the series, the individuals, we say, can they hold it up, hold their own against the likes of the FaZe stars? Oh man, they did.
Moving on, Matthew, Hobbit, what can you tell me about how this guy performed on the server?
Well, honestly, on Inferno, I felt a little bit bad for him because I thought Hobbit was really putting his best foot forward. Didn't get a lot of help from his teammates. Here, he had the cast around him. He had a beautiful map on Mirage. Prior to this series, Paula, he was the 4th highest CT player of the event. He's a stabilizer. Hobbit's a stabilizer. He's the guy who's not going to make any mistake. He's going to plug the hole if he has to. He knows where to be. He's got a lot of experience and the skill on top of it. So he had a beautiful map, and it's only just that we give him some props.
I mean, there was quite a few rounds where you could see the classic FaZe-esque rounds come out to play, right? We had a Deagles come into play. We had certain rounds where they're able to turn it around, and then Hobbit happens. And 1 versus 2 on the B-bomb side, that comes to mind, for example. And even a couple of rounds where, sure, they lost in a very narrow fashion, running out of time. I think it was a 2 versus 5, and Hobbit just pops off, almost gets everyone. Unfortunately, not quite able to close out the round, but they close out the map.
Is it maps like this where your team need to bounce back from a rough loss on the first map, where your most experienced player, Hobbit in this case, really comes alive?
I guess so, right? Kind of leading by example. He's not necessarily the IGL, but I'm sure he is the captain of that team, right? The spiritual leader for that team.
I think he's always been a fatherly figure for them, and it's not pun intended. I think he's a mentor. He's someone they look up to, right, in how they should behave and how they should approach a map like this. You have to realize that they come off of Inferno with obviously a very bleak feeling. Emotions must be really, really low. A guy like Hobbit is the one that he's supposed to show the way forward. This is how we react. This is how we do things, and he did it on Mirage.
He's a Gandalf.
Wait, I just have a quick... Oh, no, go for it.
Good reference, man. He's a Gandalf of the Fellowship.
I was about to ask Matthew, you know, in your career as a player, you were probably mainly a father figure as opposed to looking up to anyone. Was there anyone, though?
Yeah, I guess. I guess when you play with a guy like Existence, you would try and follow him. But then I had to be the daddy of the team.
You were the daddy of the team.
All right, so Existence was the leader and Maniac was the daddy.
2 different roles, 2 different times.
Very important, both of them. All right, guys, next map, Overpass. All right, what's happening here, Blair?
Overpass is the map that at least I thought would be the obvious pick for the side of players, but then coming in the decider, especially the way they will bounce back in Mirage, suddenly you have to say it is going to be favoring them a little bit. It's a map that they're very, very comfortable on. For me, I don't want to talk about a map specifically. For me, the fact that they were able to mentally bounce back after that first map, that is the first test for me. They have always crumbled under pressure against the likes of FaZe, and if they're able to deliver like this, despite being a map down in an elimination game, and then Overpass coming up, you got to side with them a little bit now.
I guess it's now the same test for FaZe as it was for players after map 1. Where is the resilience? Where is the bounce back? There are a couple of players we can single out. We can talk about Rain, of course. On Overpass on the CT side, he's going to be put under pressure, and he's been relatively quiet in this map. But Brokey as well. He suffered a really harsh Mirage on the CT side. He never had money. Obviously, he's at the bottom of the scoreboard. He never put his hands on an AWP. How much does that affect you? I think he's supposed to be capable of just brushing that map off and going on to Overpass. But Brokey and Rain, they'll be the 2 players I'll keep an eye on Overpass for sure.
We have seen FaZe you know, swing momentum back in their favor. How likely is it, though? Do you think they can do it here on Overpass against players?
I think both these teams can get the win here, right? It's going to be a 50.
Okay, so now it's a 50-50.
Now
After flipping his prediction.
Hey, listen. If I'm going to flip-flop, I'm going to keep flip-flopping.
One-time players, one-time FaZe, maybe 50-50.
Everyone in the chat right now, hashtag Blair flip-flopper.
Okay, you're doing it to me now,
I'm doing this for Jason. I'm doing this for Matthew, all right?
Okay, fine. You know what? I'm not going to flip-flop this time around. I'm gonna stick with the FaZe. I said FaZe are going to take the series. They're going to take it. Boom.
Sticking with FaZe, Matthew.
Players, baby.
All right, everybody at home, who do you think is going to take it? It's map number 3 of our final best of 3 of the day here on day 1 of playoffs at ESL Pro League Season 15. It's FaZe versus players. Can't wait to see what happens next.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
Hello and welcome back, and I'm going to go over the key tendencies and strategies that can be found when preparing against FaZe's Overpass. Starting off on the T side, we first want to look at the key positions and who plays them. We should be looking out for Ross to be the outside B player, Rain to be holding inside a connector, and Twist as the A playground player. Now the first thing to watch out for is Brokey's Molotov or Smoke inside a connector, and that's because it signals a B-sided default. Rain never throws a Molotov or Smoke in this way when he's defaulting connector, so just this detail alone will let the CTs know if FaZe are focused more on B. The second thing to watch out for also in the connector is whenever this flash is thrown. Now this flash signals a more A-sided default where Kerrigan is also in connector and FaZe as a whole are focused more on getting control towards the A side of the map. Now over on the CT side, we also want to know the basic positions of players on the map. We should be looking out for Rain as the A rifler, Brokey as the A opper, Kerrigan and Twist as the B players, and lastly Robs as the B rotator. The last thing to look out for is this close monster setup at B. Kerrigan and Twist like to play this setup quite often where one player is playing anti-flash and the second is taking contact. Being able to break this setup will be the key to hitting B. That's going to wrap it up. Look out for these tendencies the next time FaZe play on Overpass.
Well, on paper, we knew it was going to be a grueling affair, a matchup fit for the finals that happens in the round of 12. Elimination match at that. But so far in practice, it hasn't really gone that way. The first map was an absolute blowout in favor of FAZE, 16-6. In the second map, players responded 16-5. Now we find ourselves on Overpass. Knife just went down. You saw it on your screen. And I have to report, as you may have seen, that players have won that. So they will start CT side on this, the deciding, essentially now best of one for who moves on in the playoffs.
Interesting as well, I mean, in the series, FaZe dominating Inferno with the first half on the T side, 11-4, and then switching over to Mirage. It was players starting on the T side as well that got them out to a 10-5 lead. So the T sides have been extremely effective from both of these teams on the different maps.
Right, sorry, I said 16-6, 16-4.
Oh yeah, it's okay. You're close.
Sort of.
We'll give like a 2-round grace period. I think that's fair. That's legit. It's been, you know, 45 minutes or so since that map was played. Pistol round live here in the third and deciding map in these round of 12 playoff bracket. The winner going up against Na'Vi in just a few days. It doesn't get any easier for either one of these teams, whichever one is to move on.
Only one single upgraded pistol in this round, and that's Rops, who has armor and a P250, so a little bit more utility for FaZe to try and work with than you might have expected from some of the other rounds where we've seen dualies and deagles and everything else brought out.
They're just contacting to a position where they can actually chuck out their utility. Molotov on Dice likely. Ooh, good shot from Rops. He takes down Nafny. That's going to make this hit very difficult. Axel only has one choice. That's to be aggressive at long, so he has safety from the bomb site. A little bit of an off angle, drops the bomb. He knows they're going to swing on him. He needs this kill, and he's got it. Axel continues his tear, but he's running out of ammunition. Rops, it won't matter. Last bullet, Axel is a beast.
Does such a good job. He still has this position. They still have to deal with him, and that allows Shiro post-boost to walk through. Bomb never got planted. This fell apart because Axile ripped it wide open, and as they swing around, Hobbit arrives to take out Kerrigan. 1-0 in the first CT-sided pistol in the series. Goes the way of players.
You can't talk enough about how good of a play that was from Axile. He had to take a big risk. You're just hoping and praying that FaZe does not have a lurker out towards long, and indeed they didn't. It was all 5 grouped up to take this bomb site. They got the opening kill, and he's the only reason players have a shot at winning this round and indeed take it. Triple kill even as the ammunition runs out. Scout on Kerrigan for Deagles to surround it.
Shot, Kerrigan hit, so that was a land from Shiro. Scout, and then the nade on top of it puts Kerrigan now down to 32. Exile slipping away after great success. He goes straight onto the M4. Nafny does the same. He was the one that had the kit in the last round. He's not holding one in this one, so in fact none of them are. Oh, Hobbit is, excuse me, okay. My eyes deceived me. Hobbit does have one. I was going to say, surprisingly, you wouldn't, considering you get a little more money this time.
Just playing it safe. Players gonna move up long. They saw an opportunity to get aggressive. They know there's at least one more in bathrooms. It looks like Exile's just gonna continue his push like the Terminator, like Michael Myers, just pushing, walking slowly but never leaving. Hobbit, sound cue from the door. Now they just swing on him. He was maybe thinking there'd be a flashbang. He's able to get one, eventually taken down, but Inters is still here at the B bomb site, and Shiro's already arrived.
They're going to swing back through the short pipe as well. Enters inside of the smoke. This MP9 could just absolutely shred at this point. Gets one. Baroki at least able to get the response with the Deagle. Brings it to Twists to go with him in a 2-on-3. Tags to Nafny, but he gets Twists down through the edge of the boards. Shot from heaven. Baroki down to Shiro, who worked up catwalk holding just the USPS, but it will do, and it's 2-0 for players.
Looking good to start this one out. They've recovered nicely in the series. As you mentioned, that gut-wrenching loss on the first map didn't even look like they had an idea of what was going on. They arrived in the second one ready to play, and at least early on in the third, looking good. 2-0 this time, not taking a whole lot of damage to those Deagles from FaZe that have been such a nightmare to deal with throughout both of these maps. Even in the losing map, FaZe was able to have impact with Deagles. Mostly unarmored, couple upgraded pistols. Ooh, triple nade.
Triple nade set up for the boost, but oh, I was going to say no one there. Nafny nearly walked into it. Fortunately, he was just behind the play.
He's like, oh, thank God. Thank God I just took my time. One little second of hesitation. It wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. Obviously, it would have sucked to go down in that fashion, but he only has a USP, not even investing in weapons because he knows it's going to be unarmored opponents. So saving some money and obviously can salvage a weapon if it was to hit the deck. But doesn't have to even think about that for the moment.
Exile pushing up long, wants to take some map back. He'll get one shot immediately onto Twists, drops him down at Fountain. So 2 kills already, and a bit of damage as well you saw underneath in the underpass as they, and by they, I mean Shiro, pursued a kill that got away up the ladder, but Inter's now finding and capitalizing on Kerrigan's position. Hobbit will do the same. Rain, the only one left. P250 gets a nice up-close punch to the face of Hobbit.
Smart.
Yep, throwing away guns so that they can't collect them, knowing that they haven't got a full buy, and if they try and go in there and find M4s, yeah, she's out of reach.
See ya.
Bye, Felicia.
Up in Shiro's hands to kick things off. Yeah, that was so close to being a tough day. Or a tough round. 3-0. All AK-47s for FaZe. Plenty of utility. Kerrigan, Brokey, and Twist leading the way. Shiro with that AWP. Ooh, smoke just covered his opposition. And that front bathroom smoke lets him know there's going to be a challenge. There's going to be some pressure. Exile, he's been so good in these last 2 maps. He comes up for a little bit more, but Kerrigan wins the fight. Nice little one tap onto the top of Exile.
Ops. Nice through the fence to take down Hobbit, who gets aggressive, and they're not done there. They're going to put a second player in this position. That one will go far better for them as Inters gets 1 kill back. He loses that, and they go down to a 5-on-2, and you've got a much different scenario. However, it's still 4-on-2 because Kerrigan has found Nafni over toward A.
It's an awkward monster smoke. They're going to be fine stepping through it. Inter's backing off as well. Him and Shiro gambling at A. I'm going to just try and keep these weapons alive. And I don't think we're going to see too much of a hunt from FaZe. They want to get some money in the bank before they start risking the weapons to take this stuff out of the hands of players. So it's going to be 3-1. When the bomb does inevitably go off. Great round from Kerrigan. Negating Exile's aggression. Obviously the entry frag as well. Heading into the A bomb site.
So FaZe on the board. Not dissimilar to scoring as they did in, or rather on Mirage. It was 3-1 there, but they did not get the back-to-back rounds, and that's how players took full control of the economy, as you mentioned at the time. So FaZe still need to look pretty seriously at the next round, knowing especially that the AWP has been carried over. There will be a purchase around that, so we've got another gun round straight up between the two. And you mentioned it already, Jason, for those of you who maybe weren't with us a little bit earlier or haven't seen the bracket. The winner of this round of 12, will go on to a quarterfinal in which 4 teams were given buys for going 5-0 in the groups. And the bracket lines up that the winner of this plays Na'Vi. So a pretty stacked way to the finals on this side.
Go for it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Different spot, though. They didn't go for the sandbags wall. They went closer on Catwalk.
It'll be interesting to keep track of that and see how much Nafni is actually like willing, like, you know, if you keep seeing that triple nade, it's obviously not going to happen every single time, but if you see it 2 or 3 times early, you might not ever be like, hey, let's call for the stack to open up this round because you don't even really want to risk it. Or I'm going to go for a jump peek to see if I can get any information. So those triple nades, despite the fact they're not doing damage, not finding the pick or the kill that they'd like, might actually do something in terms of preventing information being gathered. That's an odd miss from Shiro, and odd positioning from Shiro and Exile. They're in some trouble now. Where does Shiro go? Burning, and he's got to tuck himself into the corner. Now Exile is here. This could be a kind of improvised bait and switch, but it's caught. It's figured out early, and Exile can only get one.
The call, they're all there. They know it. And they're stuck in this doorway because Hobbit's got it open up, and he could cover off the stairs. Twists take the fight instead. That's probably the smarter play. And as he does that, Rops, the only man not involved in that exchange, is taking map control where he can get it. Inter's caught. They've got B. That could have been a problem. If they tried to run back up toward bathrooms and didn't anticipate Hobbit to peek and swing, he could have potentially gotten 2 there. And Nafni would have been more than ready for them to arrive, given the calls already made by Exile and Shiro having gone down. He's going to hide and burrow into the bathrooms to hold on to his M4. So this will be 3-2.
Yeah, both gun rounds going the way. This could have been a completely different round. Oh, was he? I guess he might have just been moving a little bit. That sucks. He'll be frustrated. He'll be letting his teammates know, my bad. There was no way Exile was doing anything impactful in that situation. Players coming through smokes, 2 players as well, spamming him so he can't move out of the corner.
It's back to live time. Just to give you an update, no one's pursuing Nafni, so good time to look back at that. Replay bomb will go off, and the M4 will survive yet another round. They can force around it, but pistols only, really. I shouldn't say force, sort of half-buy around it. It's the better choice of words.
Yeah, and that's what the timeout is going to be about, is how do they want to work this money here? If they go for some kind of a half-buy or some kind of a force-up around this, it's going to delay things. They'll get $2,400 losing bonus. That's going to put most people around 4,400, 4,700-ish. And I think they would much rather just kind of chill and take that losing bonus and get M4s and FAMAS and SMG with utility in the next round. Chat with the coach to talk things over. We saw how impactful the timeout was for FaZe. At the end of the first half of Mirage allowed them to stay in that map, even though they couldn't convert anything. Players just recentering themselves quickly. And indeed, no real investment coming out from the CT side. They save every penny they've got. Shiro picks up a late HE grenade. Actually, I think that was just dropped over from Nafni.
So this is a different approach to the boosting. As you say, if they're not going to be trying to play that sandbag position, mind you, this time it's because he has the M4, he's in the back lines. They'll stack up B and he becomes the safest and the most deadly in that position.
Just
fortunately.
Yeah, just a gamble.
They'll hear that door. Smoke's going out. Molotovs to clear the barrels. Rops just peeking in to see what they can find, but they're not committing to this. Oh, Rops might.
Rops is going hunting. Couldn't react in time. Boost up. That's the M4.
I actually think that's Rops being so confident. He could have backed off that. He could have got shoulder peeked and hit. He goes for the headshot and goes down because of it.
Well, this is kind of scary too now because the rotation is in. Another boost. Hobbit's going to have a flank. If Nafni can get anything done, it's going to take body power away from defending the site. Oh, spam coming in. Exile had to give it up. Hobbit's got the AK-47, though. Good kill from the USP. That takes attention away from this flank.
This flank. More importantly, this flash. Exile gets Rain up close. They're still in this with a shout. Hobbit's got the AK picked up. Nafni's gotten twist down. Round over. How do they steal that back? A stack on the wrong side. Single man to sell it, and they don't capitalize at B.
It's so cool as well. Even after just the one USP kill and the 8 bombs, so they're like, all right, guys, we got Hobbit already in the bathrooms. He's so close. Let's make sure attention is kept here. Let's divert their gaze towards the bomb site so that Hobbit has free reign for the flank. With one M4 and nothing else invested, players find the solution. 4-2.
These are the rounds that haunt you. These are the rounds that get you knocked out of the event when it's the last map of a best of 3. That is brutal.
And prevent you from getting any kind of momentum going and prevent Kerrigan from getting any kind of momentum in terms of reading his opposition. Speaking of which, Kerrigan's going to get aggressive around the monster smoke. He's already peeking in. Hobbit's won that as well. Spraying through just in case. Molotov is extinguished. Good shot from Rain, but Hobbit is still alive and still fighting.
But they know where Hobbit's gone. The problem is they're not aware of the fact that there's 2 inside of the site. So if they had been able to get the rebuttal through the smoke, that entry by Rain was fantastic. Brocky's got one more, but here we go. Hobbit's gonna self-boost up on top of the site, and I don't think they'll be ready for this. Those smokes, sure, they might dissipate, but they're gonna fade from the top, and he's gonna find them first. He knows they're on catwalk. He's looked away at the wrong time. Twist slides by. Now they know he's up above, and Rops will punish him, and that puts Brokey on the move as he has to try and sneak around, but here comes Exile from behind, undetected. Flank once again the factor, and FaZe are in trouble because Rops has no HP, and Exile is going to find Rops first.
That's a scary play that Exile just made there, even though he does get the kill. That's the kind of play we saw them making on Inferno when they were splitting up an individual. That's a 2-on-1. If he loses that battle, you put Shiro in a really awkward position, but this time gets the headshot. Rops didn't expect him to be there. All important opening kill from Hobbit because Kerrigan was creating a lot of space. Just a great sequence from Hobbit all together. Twist searching for him up on top of the boxes and is caught off guard by the player in the pit. 5-2, 3-round lead in FaZe. Stuck with very little money. Khalil on Rops, Deagle's picked up.
Shot from Hobbit, potentially. Gets himself lined up. Rops is going to win that exchange instead. Nafny knows they're in there, though, so why not take a shot down that wall?
Hobbit's been pretty peaky, pretty aggressive, kind of a nuisance towards that door. I think we've seen him there 3 rounds already in the first 7.
Perhaps Gandalf marked it for him.
That's where he thinks the ring needs to go. Oh, all the Hobbit jokes. Nafny.
This is big. Oh, okay. Kerrigan.
For the love of God. For the love of God, players, you just stole one away. Don't give them one back. You got to admire this as well. All 3, Inters has called it off. It looked like all 3 were going to rotate over to the A-bomb site. It's just Axile and Shiro with that AWP. And Exile's brought down. This Galil is a thing of magic.
Shiro, good position, having already rotated over, playing the dumpster, gets the shot, falls off. They know he's there, but he's going to change the pace here a bit. May actually just call for the save on this. Is he uncertain that they're going in?
Yeah, he could have probably stuck around to go for one more, but also why risk it? Look at the money in the bank for players. Keeping this AWP in hand means he'll be able to drop an M4 over to a teammate, so they'll still be able to have a very strong buy in the next round.
They didn't win the last round, so you could call the factor of the shot and the impact argumentative, but this round, Rain, he's only got 3 kills in this game. 2 of them have been absolutely stunning on entry.
That's crazy. That is as well, especially against the AK-47. That had to have been a very fast kill for Rain, or else he would have been in trouble.
So they'll save towards CT spawn and be pretty comfortable in the fact that they can at least keep the AWP into the next round. But you're right, the money whittled down again. So FaZe, that's a fantastic response.
Yeah, especially considering it was players who just won the round with the M4 and 4 USPs, and now FaZe went around with a Galil and 4 Deagles. So both teams finding a way to do it in low economy situations, and we get a timeout called. This being from players, as they discuss how they want to position the last little bit of money that they have before they be forced into a saving scenario. Timeout taken as well before that M4 and 4 USP round. We're being very vocal. Looks comfortable though. Just hanging out.
Early in the map still, they've all been here before. Might get a little less comfortable if they can't win this one against players, because this would give them a chance to bring back the economy and the opportunity they lost in the last round.
It's been blowouts in the first 2 maps, obviously, so both teams got to be happy to a certain degree that at least they're exchanging rounds back and forth. Nobody has shot out to a huge lead just yet.
Missed Molly at the T-stairs. And that means Kerrigan's already gone in behind. Flash out. Exile's not peeking it, though. And that means he has the advantage because they wouldn't have thought he was there. Oh, dear. So 2 errors that cancel each other out and give Exile back the advantage from the play he tried to set up. And he's got a smoke in an awkward position at Fountain that he can play off of. That'll give him some coverage, but only for a moment longer. He's got to fade off of this and get back past the stairs at Connector, and he's a little worried about that because there's no teammates down there. So where's the peak, and when is the peak coming through? Well, he's been baited out. Rock in a hard place, or does he just win the battle straight up?
I mean, he has no idea where Twist could have gone. He knows he saw a nade earlier from T-mid. He's calling that out, but this is chewing a lot of time off the clock. Twist is considering his flank. Rain is still looking upstairs to get the information if he's fallen back, and they don't have the read on Exile. He's played this so well in a tense situation, not giving up the fight, not giving up the position or the map control. FaZe have got to feel a little worried at the moment. "30 seconds left. Look at the utility. 1 smoke, 2 flashes, and a Molotov to make this work into the B bomb site. 25 seconds now. Good shot from Brokey. Ooh.
Here comes Exile, though. Hobbit's holding them up. That's all he has to do. Nafny locked in. Brokey will get the shot in return, but there's Axile. Brokey down. Rops is now left alone. They're so spread out, and they know the bomb is down. They've got eyes on it through the tunnel as Brokey tries to bait a couple of shots. Gets around the corner, doesn't pick it up, goes back for more. Would have thought that he committed to trying to pick that up with 5 seconds, but there's no time to plant it. If he had, maybe he could have forced the issue now.
That's actually not bad from Rops, though. He's running back to do it to hope that Shiro's going to be lured into a peak to grab a new angle, and he'd be ready for it. He still finds the op at the end of the day. Shiro's going to have to rebuy that and reinvest it. That's a good frag to get as time runs out, doing damage to the economy in a situation that you could not possibly win. So still finding something positive to take from it. Axile is the king in this round. That information he gained is worth its weight in gold. 6-3. Very narrow margins on some of these rounds, and ooh, that Molotov doesn't get put out immediately, but not too much damage taken from it. Kerrigan, Twist, and Brokey in middle, all to make sure that Exile's aggression isn't impactful again, but he's not here.
Couple of quick shots just to signal the positioning and give them a full sense of security over toward Monster. Meanwhile, Shiro in bathrooms, he's got support. Axile getting aggressive. Very good aggression so far from players on the CT side.
Leaving the site susceptible, as long as they can control bathrooms. I don't think Shiro realizes how advanced they are. Maybe he does. Utilities start coming out. Shiro's gonna grab one. That's Rain coming up the stairs. Rops goes down as well. Oh, you can have the site. You can have the site. They've got a 5-on-3.
And a reverse take from Long. They're pinched in. They have no comfort. Shiro's staring at that with the AWP. Good Molotov to buy some space to get the bomb plant down, but they almost need to take the stairs and control that and defend the site from essentially a take rather than a retake position. They're gonna go back to bathrooms, but Exile's still here. AWP, good find from Brokey. Now they're in a situation that they can control, but only just because Shiro's still swinging back around. Hobbit can clear the side all he wants. Shiro on the pistol twists, ready for it, but dinked up. Shiro's gonna back off. He knows he's done his job. He knows he's done enough damage. He knows he's bought the space, but Brokey still has position to cover off the bomb. He's forced off it slightly further. 21 HP. He can't commit to this, and that means Hobbit can get closer and closer, and they're on the defuse. Good swing from Twist. Only gets the one, but Shiro's forced away. Bomb will detonate and FaZe find 4.
Oh, that's so brutal. Shiro even goes down with the bomb, and remember, he lost the op to Rops at the end of the previous one. That's so much money taken away, and now that kill has an impact. Now it's got a massive impact. Players, that is a hard reset. Everyone beneath 2,000. And a 2 versus 4 for Rops, or excuse me, Brokey and Twist, that they win. Kerrigan's thinking the same thing you do. We have 2 players coming from bathrooms and long. We have to take towards stairs, but there's no access. Hobbit, smart play, just spamming it, and still just can't get it done.
Problem, I think, with that was that, and looking at the situation as I did and as Kerrigan did, the bomb wasn't planted for that at all. And somehow Brokey, smartly enough, finds the kill at bathrooms that allows them to retreat back that direction. Rops going in, jumping at barrels. He'll spot that. Needs to be aware that Hobbit's up close. Inter's burning at this point in time. Rops not going to overcommit. We know Hobbit's deadly. CZ75, nice spray down. Thin wood, 2-ply. Well, the reply is a flash, but he won't go any further, so no damage done to Rops. For the boost. Late. Rain's gonna get that. Plywood, the nemesis this round, it seems. Rops is gonna get Nafny this time, not through a wall. And he follows that. Oh, excuse me. Twist got that shot instead. Either way, we're now within 1 round, the difference between these 2 teams.
Yeah, and the economy is just so brutal for players. I mean, once again, just hovering right around 2K. Next round's not going to be the prettiest buy in the world. Again, most players going to be stuck right around 4,400 or just beneath it. FaZe is likely going to even this up at 6. Third map is going to be a game. It's going to be a brawl. And even those players look pretty decent to start out with, FaZe is taking everything away from him. And the tough part is, look, even though this is 6-5, 4 of those rounds that FaZe have won, 4 of the 5, except for the previous one we just saw, were all bomb plants and bomb explosions. So they're finding ways to get into this site. They're finding ways to have success. Just a straight up set piece on the B bomb site. 3 Molotovs, smokes, flashes, all used for poor little Hobbit. And Kerrigan gonna make some bank. Bonus money galore. Flying Mac 10s. There's Brokey with the final. 6-6.
Six to 6. FaZe back into this very much so, and it was a scary proposition when they went down 5-2 and were starting to lose track of the money, especially because one of those losses was against the Pistols. That's exactly how the other games have slipped away. But 6-6 indeed. This is I mean, it's kind of common, I guess. You see 2 blowout maps, each on the one that they pick. The third map tends to at least level the kill a bit, right? So, see how this works.
You hope so. It's glad that I'm happy we're getting it. Timeout coming to an end. Freeze time coming to an end. 3 more rounds in this first half, and we still haven't figured out who's going to take the lead. All M4s. Shiro no longer able to afford the AWP. Brokey's got his in hand, and FaZe have plenty of cash for the later stages of this half. They took control of things right at the perfect moment. Here comes that triple nade again. Nafany.
He's closer this time, but okay, they went for the short ones because, again, they've been altering that between the right and left positions. I mean, look, they'll take the damage. You're not expecting to get a kill every single time from it. Poor Stewie got absolutely wrecked by it earlier this week.
This time it's Hobbit down in stairs, so a little bit of a different look of a defense. Hobbit's normally been playing towards short water, playing outside the squeaky door. This time he pushes down into blue, and he's got Exile in bathrooms for support. I say that, but he's going to be smoked off.
Molotov bounces Hobbit's forward of it. I don't think Rain's ready for this. No, he's not. Oh my goodness. Hobbit couldn't land it. Rain was airborne. He landed and catches him through the edge of the stair. So that's an unfortunate exchange for Hobbit.
Thank God it's the third map, because that's the kind of kill that makes you turn to your friends and just say, this is the last map I'll be playing today.
Yeah.
Well, they still have Exile in bathrooms. That hasn't been cleared out. Shiro rotating back from long. Kerrigan goes down. He's been pretty solid on entries. Meanwhile, the main thrust of this attack is going to be towards B. Twist watching for this flank. Oh, it's an easy one. And that might actually slow this down. They hadn't actually pulled the trigger on the execute into the B bomb site. But Inters and Nafany still haven't moved. Great boost.
What? The crosshair placement was there and everything. Rops just absolutely smoked him. Enters, low HP, lines up the first, follows up with his second. Brokey has to swing out and trade it. They've got the advantage, and Shiro knows that Twist was on the offsite, but it doesn't matter. The headshot comes through, and FaZe have the lead, 7-6.
Yeah, what a good round. What a great lurk from Twist. There's been a couple impactful flanks from players throughout this half, and this time Twist is in perfect position and just says, no, not this round. No one's coming from behind on my teammates this time. Great kill onto Exile. And even though Inters has a stunning triple kill, this was the one. That was the one that could have changed everything. And he had the advantage.
Oh, man, slow to respond. Nafty's only got 3 kills right now. You can see at the end of that round, he was hand on his forehead. Bit of despair, discouragement. He'll have to pull himself out of the gutter because he's going to have to lead them to success in the second half. We're still not done the first. By far the closest game we've had yet.
Think of how much of a disaster this half could have been if players didn't win the M4 and 4 USP round.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
They won 2 off the back of that. FaZe spread, pretty protected, centralized opening from them. Brokey and Rain in stairs. Twist being very, very passive out by Fountain, just looking for pushes. Kerrigan's going to challenge. Kerrigan's going to throw his way through Monster. Rups is blind, surely going down, but I think that's the only kill Hobbit even has a chance of getting. And now Kerrigan's activated, put into play. Brokey's going to get another. Oh, he's stopped cold.
He is. Kerrigan's very low, so give this round half a chance. Twist's trying to clear the bathroom to make up for the lost ground on Monster. They can't afford to let Kerrigan try and continue to open up that side, so Inters rotating back around. Might run into a 2v3 in sight, and again, you catch off an angle if they're not careful clearing, and you've got Kerrigan low, another headshot from a Deagle, a body shot to follow, you've got a round. They do overlook it. Exile nearly gets away with one more. Twist manages to hold the trigger, but that's a lovely shot. And now it's Twists on 22, Kerrigan on 2, and Inters on 37. He's gonna try and work back through the smoke. Bomb's down, 21 seconds. That's gonna force time to be a factor because they have to commit to the bomb plant and give Inters a bit more of a chance in that regard. This could quickly fail. He's heard them jump. He knows they're going for the bomb. He's got the shot on Twisted. Kerrigan's down. Enters, nails it. The HP was the factor, and now Gambit tied the game back up.
What an incredible clutch. They needed it. Enters breathed some life into him. That is massive. We have such a close affair. Both of these teams now winning low economy rounds. So sick from Enters. And you're exactly right. The damage that Exile done has impact later on. That's beautiful.
That's so sick. I mean, he even overlooks that because it's just a little head. Could be a little corpse in front of him.
Very easily could have missed it.
Honestly, I thought it was a body when he first peeked around the corner, but that was sick. I mean, so well done. Once they got the early damage and they had the advantage, they just played it out. The bomb going down, what a factor that was.
That's so crazy. Rain falls through. He spammed. It's all gone wrong for FaZe at the end. Kerrigan swinging out, finds the equalizer, brought down to just below half HP. shero still standing tall with the AWP in bathrooms. Nafany has shifted over with Exile's death just to make sure shero can't get wrapped upon from long. Rops, it's his turn. We've seen Twist lurk over towards A, towards Highway, towards bathrooms. This time it's Rops lurking outside of the B bomb site. Utility used so FaZe can get space and make this A defense a little bit nervous. 55 seconds on the clock.
So they slow it down considerably. Now, Brokey, keep in mind, right now has bomb. He's at long, so it's a big rotation for him. He's going to back off. Don't think he feels comfortable going aggressively toward the site. Smoke down instead, just to hold them there.
No smokes, Matt. It's going to be Molotovs. You have to, excuse me, one smoke is already just being thrown out to Plume. It missed its mark, though. That's going to make him nervous. No Molotov for the truck, and actually it might get extinguished if they were to put one there.
Well, they're going to molly backside bank to keep Hobbit from swinging out. They know the smoke's down along. Doesn't matter, though. Hobbit has vision. He's got the lineup. This is just too easy. Brokey down and back into the lead. 4 players, just barely at the end of the half. Closely contested, 8-7. We've got only just a few more rounds, 15 tops, to decide who, well, I say tops, we've had overtimes, but 15 to decide who's moving on and who is out. We'll be back after the break.
Hello guys, it's Fini here, and today I will show you some pro tips on the Be Overpairs anchor and what to do in some certain situations. So something basic that you should always have when you want to stop a rush is asking your rotator to do the smoke. They will land it really fast on the monster, and they will need it to. If they are rushing, they will need to go through here. So if you're normally doesn't even matter your spawn, you're just gonna jump right here. You can do a pop flash for you, then don't need to ask flash, just turn and spam in the right corner this here, because normally people rush in a single line, so they're rushing pistols and stuff like that. You will be able to get some easy multi kills. Another rule that we like to have when doing this is always playing together with your teammate. Doesn't matter if guys gonna play the safe setup when you guys just holding pit. What I like normally to do is having my molly and my smoke. I just do this little jump on a ledge, because in this way you won't be able to get an insta headshot. It's really hard to get to kill like that, only if you get lucky. And right away when you spot someone, you can do that molly, and your friend will be holding this smoke here. You see this black line here. When you spot the guy and you just they're getting up monster, he's smoking for you, and you land it real fast, and you just block the path from them. And that's an easy way to just block the csgo, because they would need to go all from this right side corner, and pretty much they can die from every angle on the side. So this is my pro tips from Overpass. I hope you guys learned something today, and thanks for watching.
8-7 on our third map, 1 round between them. Players just squeaking that out at the end of the half. And FaZe now get a chance to be on the defensive side, where in which the pistol was won by players in the first half. So if they can do the same, perhaps they're off to something good. If not, it's going to be a game of recovery because we know how well players are shooting.
That was such a tough half for players. I'm actually amazed they come out on top of that. Obviously, it helps when you win an M4 and 4 USP round, when you win that Deagle round, the 1 versus 3 from Inters, the clutch that he had at the end of it. But man, FaZe had them on the ropes a number of times, and FaZe had economic control throughout most of that half. So the fact that players are up around is incredible. Not sure if Brokey spotted anyone, probably at least one. Rops takes a little engagement and backs away from it. Both him and Hobbit more than willing to just back away from the fight and call a stalemate.
Shiro getting closer with Nafany as they work past the fountain and take over the bathrooms area on the map. Rops, that's a tough one. He's going to play this solo. He's got Brocky to swing out from spawn. Shadow makes that easy to get the first one, but now they know he's locked in the corner and a tough position. He goes down. Exile knows likely he's got a support player there for him and looks for Brocky. He finds the kill. He drops down. Kerrigan coming out, can't hit the jumping head shot, but he follows onto Inters. That's a lovely shot. Bomb drop temporarily. Kerrigan finding Hobbit as well. Exile suddenly standing inside of the site, gets the return shot, but does not have the bomb. It's all onto Twists. He's got the first one already. Knows the second one's there, and he hits the headshot on Nafany as well. And the Canadian kid steps up again to make it 8-8.
He wins the clutch, but he never even gets a chance to be in that situation if it's not for Kerrigan. Those are incredible shots from Kerrigan to be able to hit. Absolutely stunning, especially considering he takes his time with the first one that jumps in. That is wonderful. This is icing on the cake. Hobbit goes down. He's the one meant to pin him into the truck, and Twists with his, as we all know, his beautiful aim. Brokey's getting hyped up. Kerrigan's getting hyped up. FaZe has tied it up 8-8.
Perfect execution of USPs as well. All 5 headshots that round. Rain's going to go hunting now with his colorful MP9.
Is that a rose?
Maybe a tulip.
Tulip?
I think it's a rose. But lean a little closer, you'll find that roses really smell like poo. Ooh, woo, woo.
Okay.
Outcast, bro.
Yeah.
Such a boomer. Such a boomer. I mean, that's even a boomer band. So
I know, I was going to say.
Rain, though, here we go. He's going to step up. Inter's found 2 for the MP9.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. Brokey, nice kill.
You're not for real.
Rain's handling business quite well. So is Rops. Nobody goes down for FaZe. 1 round lead, 9-8. AK is going to come out in round 18 for players. As we mentioned, I mean, both T sides in the 2 maps preceding it were just dominant. And obviously, FaZe, I wouldn't say that they necessarily struggled on their T side, but obviously 7-8 wasn't exactly the blowout they had on Inferno. We'll see if players can match kind of the level that they brought out on Mirage. They were incredible at finding the early kills in the rounds and really thinning out the defense and opening up the map and opening up space for each other. If that happens again, Overpass is going to be real rough for FaZe. Molotov is extinguished as players make their run towards playground. 2-man stack out towards long. Rops at the tree and Rain close up at the rock. One pop flash would ruin Rain's entire life.
Nafany. All right, Shiro comes out. I was going to say, if he spray controlled that and actually hit the shot, impressive, but it wasn't him that hit the shot.
Yeah, Nafany crouch sliding into an incredible peak is going to ruin Rain's life as well. Kerrigan trying to shrink the map and trying to get a little bit of information is forced away by Hobbit, who's still just chilling underneath the ladder. Gonna check and make sure nobody's pushed out towards Monster. A little bit of an oversight. Shiro's kind of alone and isolated with the bomb. Inters is gonna come help and make sure he can cross safely. However, FaZe have the right call. Kerrigan and Twist sticking around at the B bomb site. MP9 and FAMAS to hold off this hit, to hold off this attack. Smoke just blooms from Twist, and he's got 1.
Shot Shiro, but not done there. Kerrigan steps up for 2. spraying through Exile into Shiro with the MP9. Brokey has to dodge the flash. That allows them inside of the site, but do they know he's this close? Bomb's gonna be planted. He slides out, can't hit the shot. Enters, gets the kill, and it's 9-9. Great response early on, having lost the pistol and the ensuing round, and that's gonna leave money tight on both sides, but that means we're at breaking point already, and players can get straight back into this.
Narrow margin of victory. If Brokey has an M4 there, that's probably at least a one fight. Then he's got a one-on-one duel, albeit very low on HP. Good job from Kerrigan. And this just goes, the reads he's had in this series have been pretty darn good. This one, they knew Twist was there. They didn't expect a second player from that side of the bomb site. 9-9. FaZe fully bought up into this. They need this win. Otherwise, it'd be an early reset of the economy. Scout on Brokey. FAMAS on Twist. All three M4s around it, and on the player side, all AK-47s. Slow pace, spread default from players just to make sure. Nothing crazy called out of spawn. Bomb's gonna be heading towards B. So after they notice nobody's pushed up long, nobody's pushed up towards Fountain, and Terza is gonna back away and rejoin. Looks like they want to apply some pressure on towards Monster. Smoke is just pluming now, and that's gonna force Shiro to back away. He really wanted to take advantage. If there was gonna be no utility there, he was gonna see what he could find.
Rops will redress the smoke at the front side of Monster. That'll put us down to roughly 45 seconds before that's gone.
I think they've heard two players spam.
That nade's gonna be well struck. And as always, I call that and I'm wrong, but he goes down to 81. Nice shot, Shiro. Twist just absolutely deleted.
Yeah, Nafany saw that nade coming. It's not your fault, Matt. He saw it coming a mile away, and he just stepped forward a little bit. A risk. It overexposed him to the bomb site, but nobody peeked with it. And if they had, it wouldn't have mattered, because that boost up got the elimination on Twist, who would have been the player in the battle. So, a lot of pressure, a lot of attention on the B bomb site for players early on. You can leave Nafany in a lurk position. Actually, he's going to lead the way with low health. See if he can figure out where the opposition is. 17 seconds. They've got to run. Rops is coming over. Rain, how much can he do? Flashbang is out. A little bit clever, bouncing off the wall. They're a bit blind. 10 seconds now. They've got to get in. They've got to deal with Rain. Oh, he's doing so good. And he's going to get towards long. The round's over. Round's over.
Absolutely. 5 seconds left already. He doesn't even need to do anything. He just deny the plant. He will. They knew they had to plant it. Obviously, in a normal situation, you'd want to fight one-on-one with him, but hooking for the coverage, looking for a chance headshot, not going to happen. Too efficient from Rain. And FaZe continue to lead, but only by 1 round.
Players had the right idea. It was just too slowly executed. The round actually became a teammate for FaZe there with the way Rain could have played that. It's a good find. But with 10 seconds trying to enter into the bomb site, you've got Rain tucked into a corner. You've got Rops distracting. You've got Brokey coming through a smoke. Man, there was no access. Just enough obstacles put in players' way to slow them down and to run out of time. Inters has the only AK-47 and 550 in the bank. 3,000 on Nafany and Exile, 2,200 on Shiro and Hobbit. Timeout is called as they want to talk over how to work this by, how to shift around the weaponry so that they have enough strength to actually win this round. And they've had to come up, players have had to come up with some clever solutions. Remember, they had the 2 low econ rounds they won in the first half with some clever play, some clever boosts, some stacks as well. These timeouts have been very well done from players.
We'll see what they come back with this time. Enters out of one Molotov and pinched by another. He's got to hold the wall, which often can be dangerous if nades rain in on top of it, because you're almost guaranteed to get hit by those, but none will. Hobbit instead now, though, getting a Molotov out inside of the stairs. Kerrigan has Exile down, and Hobbit catches him in response. He turns around. He's going to get Rain as well inside of the smoke. Tech9 doing wonders, and he'll upgrade to the M4 as Brokey does turn around and finally end that terror.
Yeah, but you've got 2 AKs on the map, and your Tech9 has just delivered you 2 kills. You've got to be so pleased with that. You have to be extremely happy. The next dangerous thing for players in this round as they try and progress across the map is Rops in this position at long.
It's such an off angle.
And a weird timing for it, too. 1 minute on the clock right now. Inters and Shiro. All attention, all eyes forward.
Misleading call here, though, for Rops, because he's not going to see them top mid. He has no idea they've gone into connector.
Well, as he pushes long, here's the tough part. Brokey has shifted back to cover the A bomb site because there could have been a timing. He's calling out exactly what you just mentioned. There could have been a timing where they slip past Rops' flank. This actually splits FaZe up 1-1-1. They're all so far away from each other. Twist has got to do everything, and he's out in the open with the FAMAS. If Inters gets this kill with ease, here's the swing. Oh, big win. Can he get a second? He dinks Shiro. That's actually pretty damn good.
And Rops is on the backside of them now. He's already spotted one at Monster, so he knows there's a bit of space. Brokey just trying to stay efficient, not get caught out, not get picked off before Rops can get there. That does mean they'll give up the plant, but here we go. They have no idea. Nafny's a dead man. He's gonna walk. He doesn't even consider it. Doesn't even swing to check it. Just gets removed, expecting them to be from the front side of the site. But Shiro, flanking the flanker, is gonna go back through water, and Rops reads it because he's already cleared the rest of the site. 11-9.
Yeah, low HP. That flank was massive, despite the fact that it was kind of, its results didn't show, obviously, till the very end. That kill from Twist is everything. If there's a third player alive, I'm thinking Nafny turns and checks that. I think someone just checks it. Beautiful play from Hobbit. Really unfortunate, probably really frustrating that they couldn't capitalize upon it, but that was incredible stuff. Players with the plant. Going to invest a bit more money. Hobbit back on the Tech 9, AK-47 on Shiro. Upgraded pistols and armor picked up because they know they've got the economy in a tense spot for FaZe. They want to keep it low. They want to get 2 to 3 more kills in this round. A plant would be wonderful for players. The fight at the moment is an economic one, as players are just trying to do enough damage to set themselves up for the reset once guns are back in their hands, and then they can do wonderful things.
Hobbit. Good shot, catches out Brokey. Tech 9 in return. Again, this round is going to find 2. That's ridiculous, Hobbit.
He's like, all right, guys, don't screw this one up. I've done it again. He's like, against all odds, somehow I've done it again. Please don't give away the advantage. One more. Oh, look at this. Twist and Kerrigan doing this so well. Twist might be able to recover the round. Rain, he's going to get dropped. There's Twist bouncing. And Rops again with the long flank, and it's all ripped out of their hands again.
Do they know that Inters is coming back from the stair? Okay, doesn't matter. Rops, you're right. The long flank will catch him because he could have snuck down the stairs. Once again, Rops pushing similar scenes as it was all down toward Connector that Hobbit found the kills. But it's Twist this time with the double.
They've kind of got what they've wanted, right? They've done the damage that they wanted to the economy of FaZe, but it's still going to be, to a certain degree, a bummer that Hobbit's giving you 2 5-on-3s with a Tech 9, and you're not able to convert either one of them. That's some really, really good proactive play from this FaZe defense to push up and take all that control. Seen that Molotov miss a couple times now in this game. Shiro eats the follow-up nade down to 49 HP, but he'll be chilling in the back with an AWP. Might get a clash at long. Brokey's here with his op. Rain is tucked into the corner. Shiro doesn't have a flashbang to set it up to go around the flowers. Oh, the jump. Oh, the jump.
He's going to get one. Brokey still holding it, though, from the sign. He's got both sides to watch. Does have rotation in the form of Rops to help him at least be more confident in his positioning. Shiro can't spot anything, so backs off at Brokey. In fact, doesn't want anything to do with it. He's going to try and push bathrooms to make up for this positional loss of that trade on Rain. And here comes Hobbit. The Tech 9 killer, but gone this time, AWP. And that bomb is flung far forward. Brokey knows now this is onto the A site with 24 seconds. Get the rotations in place. Good trade from Shiro. It might give them a chance to get in. They've got a bit to work with in this situation. Twists and Rops. The crossfire set. Rops can't find the first. Turns around to realize he's being peeked down, and Twist holds the backside as Axile wanted to swing and get that kill. Kerrigan's on the flank. And what a string of rounds from FaZe. 13-9 as they go on this half in a 6-1 run.
Well, one of the things we questioned coming into the second half was, are we going to get that same players team that looked so assertive and so dominant and so confident in their fight selection on Mirage? We're not getting it. A lot of these rounds have been slow played, and they're taking so much time actually getting to the point of attack, especially at the A bomb site, that all the rotations are able to get there in time. FaZe is having a very comfortable experience rotating Twists, rotating Rops into these bomb sites and shutting things down right at the end. Those aren't the looks you want. Those aren't the looks you want if you want FaZe, or excuse me, if you want players to move on. Another timeout that have been very, very good for players. It's their 4th and final. It better be a good one. They've had their chances in the second half, though, Matt. It's just they've just all slipped away. They've all just kind of like fallen flat right at the end.
You had 2 rounds on Tech 9s that Hobbit found 2 kills. Not that you're expected to win those rounds, but,
no, but you even had
most of them.
You had AKs as well mixed in there, right? The Tech 9 getting those opening kills is like that's great. That's incredible. That's gravy. It's exactly what you would have wanted.
Well, you know what they say, Jason. Don't hate the players, hate the game.
Okay, nice.
We'll see if they can win this with their sheer aim. But Brocky of AWP fame is going to be watching down Monster. He's got Exile gone already. Tech 9's from that range against an op. Oh, even when he's flashed.
Yeah, you're not moving forward if your player's here. Rops now has control of short water as well, and oh boy does he. He's going for more. Triple kill, slows it down for the final tap. 21 kill on Rops.
That's remarkable. I mean, now it's 14-9 and players are starting to fade again. So the T side not looking as remarkable for them as it certainly did on Mirage.
This is a 7-1 run in the second half for FaZe. They've dropped 1 single round. The first round that players had AK-47s. After that, it's been dominance. The only real positive thing you have to speak of what we've seen from players is those 2 rounds outside of the round they won is the 2 rounds from Hobbit with the Tech 9. Outside of that, we haven't seen the power and strength. Brokey, he's going to stick around. He wants a battle. Blinded, forced off the angle, but he's back into it. Nafany goes down. He's had a tough game. He's been really negated. 7 kills on Nafany.
Brokey, again, is able to fade off afterwards as well. So good start. No further questions on the exchange. Shiro sliding up without his AWP, has the AK looking into the stairs, which his teammates have now cleared, so they know they have at least controlled middle. "59 seconds and not really any decisive positioning aside from that small clear, but they haven't considered that Rops once again is out toward long range, is always dwelling at the bathroom somewhere. And the op therefore is rotated all the way back to B. Twists and Kerrigan, this setup, whew, that's gonna be tough. Kerrigan's not even gonna slide up the wall. Twist just does both. Kerrigan slides out and goes, oh, all right, cool, thanks, man.
Yeah. Kerrigan probably loves that. He loves that Twist is taking those kills. Even a third one for Twist for the young Canadian. 15-9 FaZe. 6 chances to close out this map and series and book a date with Na'Vi in the quarterfinals. It doesn't look like they're going to need all 6 rounds. This has been dominant.
Absolutely.
It's now 8-1 in the second half.
I mean, the confidence to go for that kind of setup as well, right? Like, that's a cheeky one. You got one player on the drain grate. That's hard already to see as it is. And then as soon as he goes down, you think, okay, that's the monster player. And Kerrigan was right there to slide out. Yeah, this is a headache and a half for Nafany right now.
Headache and a half for the whole squad. This half is, as we mentioned, they've had their chances, they've had their opportunities, and they've just fallen flat. What a dominant defense FaZe has come in with. Just a brick wall that players can't get past. Rain with 1. Now he gets to be aggressive. Again, it's Nafany. And again, there's no ability to trade it back. Look at the utility players have to work with. 1 Molotov, 1 smoke, and 3 flashbangs. And all 4 of them are here. They want to progress all the way to the bomb site. Rops isn't going to let them. That's the bomb hitting the deck. They're just getting thinned out. Rain is going to continue his aggression as well. They don't have the manpower to watch this. Rain is going to wrap around, and he's going to find a freebie. At least 1.
Shot, headshot clean. Second one as well. Rain actually got that well. Dancing and darting along the edge of the wall. Shiro will put him down, but this is over. FaZe are moving on. Shiro's got nothing for this.
Yeah, it's a shame. This has just kind of fizzled out, hasn't it? It looked great in the first half.
It's a great recovery from FaZe, considering how the first map went. That's one way you have to look at it, because they certainly look poised again. And that's an encouraging sign going against Na'Vi, who they now have a date with.
Oh, yeah. And one of the things we talked about, it's going to continue. It's going to be continuing to get tough for FaZe, because remember, we also, there's pressure on this team to replicate the results that they had in Katowice, where they lifted the trophy. And they're obviously looking towards this Pro League trophy, wanted to raise that one over their heads as well when all is said and done. But they've got to go through the best team in the world. That's going to be in a few days in the quarterfinals. For now,
does this become a battle for the Grand Slam?
Ooh, that could be interesting. That could be spicy. We'll see how that one progresses as the year goes on. Obviously, FaZe looking in prime position at the moment, or at least in the lead pole position, as you like to say. Either way, we're going to a break, and when we come back, we'll get the desk to close out the evening. Have a good one.
Shiro and Hobbit. They're really passive players, so they know what to do. Yeah, it would be easy for them, no problem.
I guess Shiro and Hobbit would win the wingman just because they're in good shape right now, and I think maybe the team form translates into wingman as well. So hopefully it does, and I don't know. I guess yeah, they can win.
If Saivu and Dupree wasn't trolling around, I think they would win, but I think they would be trolling, so Robs and Rocky would win.
Yeah, like instantly I would say Saivu and Dupree, but like Marco, I think they would be trolling around, so probably Robs and Rocky.
Good question. Because wingman is random. I don't know, simple and bit, I guess. I don't know why, but I'll just go with those guys.
My initial thought is that I think wingman is a lot more about the rifles than AWP, so I think Nico and yeah, Monesi maybe, because Nico is such a good rifler. But I don't know.
If you've ever read or heard of the ancient text, the Book of Five Rings, which is about all things martial, you'll know that rhythm is important throughout life, but especially in combat. And when myself and my analysts were backstage watching over past T-side for players play out, Matthew was lamenting at the fact that these guys' rhythm just looked off. And well, what happened? 16-9 to FaZe. FaZe come out on top of players 2-1.
Yeah, fantastic showing coming out from FaZe. But as you said, as Matthew said in the green room as well, for the side of players, the final half was deflating, to put it very bluntly. Like you said, there was no rhythm. They didn't really seem to have an idea as how they wanted to approach the map. And Carrigan was just dancing all around them, countering them perfectly, the individuals propping up as well. And I want to ask myself, what the hell went wrong there in T-side? It's Overpass, a map that historically they're so bloody good at.
Matthew, was it players failing to create a rhythm, or was it Carrigan, as Blair saying, making sure his was more dominant?
Look, I have to be honest. I think anytime any FaZe player had space to be able to take that rhythm away from players, they would do it. But it was just Nafany's idea coming into this T side didn't sit well with me at all. It was extremely slow at the very beginning. And once they realized their mistake, they try and pick up the pace, but then they got punished. And this is where the Kerrigan's genius is here.
Now, we have a good round to illustrate what we're talking about. Blair, round number 19.
Yeah, round number 19, we were watching this in the green room, and both Matthew and myself...
I'm just going to close my eyes.
We were flabbergasted because it was painful. It was painful because players, they get the opening pick, right? It's a 9-9. It's a crucial round right now. It's a 5 versus 4 favoring players. Look at the time. 23 seconds. Then they leg it to the A bomb side with no information. There was no one looking towards long. There was no one playing towards bathrooms. They run in blind and they run into the wall. The Norwegian himself, Rain, and he just decimates them. And 10 seconds, man, they still haven't made their way up the steps. What is going wrong?
And what's horrifying about this round is that this is supposed to be the easiest round to win for players, right? They had won that first gun round that they put together on the T side. It's 9-9 scoreline. They're basically one round away from breaking the economy of FaZe. And this is their best foot forward. This is the strategy they want to use. Absolutely no map control being taken on the A side. No idea if bathroom is taken. No idea if long is taken. So what do? You got to hurry yourself to go through all of that in about 20 seconds to plant the bomb. Of course, Rain is going to have a good time because we circle back to the quality of the roster in FaZe. If you give them that space, if you give them that time, if you give them that respect, they'll do it and they'll act on it beautifully. We saw so many times Robs being annoying. That's because they can.
And even if you look at a scoreline, even though it's such a dominant scoreline for the side of FaZe, it could have been even more dominant. You go back to the first half, there was a round where they saved an M4 with 4 pistols. Granted, they played it to perfection, but their one round they had no business winning. The final round, their first half, Inters 1 versus 3 with the Deagle as well. If those rounds hadn't gone their way, this could have been a 16-4.
This map is more one-sided than Inferno.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
I'll say it.
Guys, before we break this matchup down further, we have an exit interview ready with Hobbit from Players.
Hey everybody, right now I'm joined by Hobbit from Players. Hobbit, unfortunately, you guys got eliminated from the playoffs so far right now. I would like to maybe go through through all the things that happened because you kind of had a slow start when it comes to Inferno. On T side, FaZe were really successful at getting those rounds. Did you already manage to pinpoint the reason for that?
I mean, they adapted very well for us, and I really had a feel that they had a really good plan, and it was working. And yeah, the Tekken Sync is all about us. I mean, we didn't play how we can play actually. I don't know what happened. They just smashed us, and we couldn't do anything. But I believe that next time we're gonna do some fight.
What was it also the pressure, the importance of the game that was kind of putting the pressure on you?
I mean, every game is important for us right now, and we need to show ourselves. I mean, it's a very important moment. We need to play as good as we can, and of course, unexperienced things just broken our plans. It's fine, I think. I mean, FaZe very good team, and they're number 2 team in the world right now by HLTV. But I agree with that for 100%. They're playing very well, and they did some good shuffle. Robs came to their roster, and they just I don't know. It was, I think, really good shuffle for them, really, and they started to play really different. Yeah, that's it.
I see. Well, the thing is, I actually had an interview between the maps with Robs, and he said that they were actually surprised that you decided to go for Mirage, not for Dust 2, not for Ancient, but for Mirage. Was that the goal? Was your goal to actually surprise them?
I mean, yeah. We had good plan. We had a good pick. Our coach decided to pick Mirage, and our team, everyone agreed with that, and that was good.
I mean, we know, like, when it comes to Mirage, you even sometimes pick the T side against your opponents. So, like, you felt like you looked really comfortable on that map. But the thing is, like, the next tournament that you're going to have, I think, is, like, the European RMR. What are your goals right now? What are you going to try to improve the most?
Of course, to go through. We need to go to the major, first of all. We're going to have some boot camp in Germany. So it sounds good for us. 5 ping, it's really good, and we can adapt for it. We can feel the LAN aim. It's very important. And yeah, we're gonna prepare. We have a lot of time. We have good food to watch. I don't know how to say that. I mean, it was a good game and a lot of mistakes by our team, by me especially. So we have some mistake. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Hobbit. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heku, for that interview. Great to see Hobbit from players still in high spirits and looking ahead into the future. Now, one of the things he mentioned was that FaZe to him seemed very prepared. Do you think that's a good sign for FaZe going forwards?
I'll go in a little bit more deeper. I like he mentioned Robs, right? This Robs pickup has been fantastic for FaZe. He went 63 kills in the series. He left 63 in a best of 3 maps. That doesn't look good, but you got to remember how many rounds were played, Matthew. He had a 0.95 kill per round.
All right, then.
That is actually ludicrous. But yeah, I have to agree with him. I think FaZe looked incredible. Again, they prove that when the going gets tough, when they had that beatdown in Mirage, you started to worry. It's overpass. It's a map that players are historically good on. And then Cargill calls perfectly. Everyone steps up individually. And they need to, because coming up next is Na'Vi.
Yeah, it's a very good sign. It's going to be extremely complicated against Na'Vi. It doesn't matter how you look at it. It doesn't matter how you want to flip the switch. This is going to be a tough game. What FaZe is able to do and what they are doing right now in this tournament is that they prove to us, they are proving to us that they are title contenders. It wasn't just about IM Katowice. They come in here. They had a very good reaction after that second map. We talk about skill. On that last map, all FaZe's players were between 74 ADR and 89, all between 17 kills and 23 kills. Everyone was able to have an impact. We saw Kerrigan in the USP in the pistol round. We saw Rain, obviously, in that connector work. We saw Robson, and we know what he can bring to the table. That is it. That shuffle they've done, the one that Hobbit is mentioning, has just strengthened this lineup so much.
This is the thing, right? Heading into Katowice, that was a tournament where, like, this FaZe clan is here to be championship contenders, to win an event. But then all the, you know, the COVID positive cases happened, all the worst things that could have happened took place, yet they won it. This time, it's a full 5-man lineup. They got Roban behind them as well. So as you said, Matthew, they're looking to get the W here.
Yes, and as you alluded to, Blair, up next for FaZe is Na'Vi, but that is not until Friday. We've got the bracket up on screen. We have finished our first 2 playoff matches. ENCE moved forwards after beating Fnatic, and they'll be playing Movistar Rise. And yes, FaZe Clan at the bottom, you can see, after beating players, we'll be playing Na'Vi. We've still got Heroic and Team Liquid to go, and Entropic versus Astralis. Those 2 matches will be taking place tomorrow. We'll get that schedule up on screen shortly for you as well. Guys, this playoff bracket is looking spicy. Very spicy. And I love spice, you know that.
We all love spice. Matthew, maybe
Matthew,
not so much. Not so much. But you know what?
My taste buds are not that.
He tries, though. He tries it, and I respect that, Paula.
Yeah, so Entropic Astralis, 3:30 p.m. CET tomorrow, and then Heroic versus Liquid at 7 p.m. CET. Trace, Yanko, and Kassad will be there starting at around 3:15, so make sure you're in early and enjoy that pre-show, and then we'll be back for the same time that we were here today, tomorrow, so at around 6:50.
The night shift.
6:45 p.m., yes, the night shift. And that's about it, everybody. Crazy first day of games. Overall, thoughts? Are you happy with what's transpired, Blair and Matthew?
It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning here. You know, we have so many more games remaining. We have Na'Vi yet to play. That's something I'm looking forward to as well.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, NA. Are they going to survive? That's the question for me.
Oh, Matthew, Liquid, what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. I'm looking forward to see how Heroic will play. You know, I have high hopes and expectations for this Heroic squad, so I think this might be a great game for the Danes.
Yes, well, Maniac, it's great to have you back. Blair, it's been a pleasure so far, and I can't wait to do more over the rest of this week. Everybody at home, thank you very much for joining us here at ESL Pro League Season